Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the third episode of the Buzzdown here at the Shenandoah University Esports Arena in Winchester, Virginia. Today, we will be covering our Marvel Rivals team's first playoff game here in NECC competition against Illinois State in Division VI Playoffs. My name is Brennan Moss, and I am joined here today by Jaja. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty great today. Sorry. It is first year's day here at Shenandoah. I had to do a lot of talking for the marching band, but I'm excited to finally get to casting some Marvel Rivals. I have been waiting for a long time.
A lot of people have been waiting a really long time for us to cover Marvel Rivals this semester. Been kind of tough with all the scheduling and stuff, but now that we have a show like the Buzzdown, we'll recap, matches throughout the week that we were not able to get to live. We have an opportunity here, and we get to see a very important match here. It is going to be Shenandoah in their first round of NECC Division VI Playoffs against the Illinois State, I believe, Redbirds. And we're going to go ahead and take a look at the bracket or the head-to-head first, one or the other. The head-to-head first here. Stats between these teams: Shenandoah sitting at a 4-2 for the regular season, Illinois State at 5-2.
Yeah, so these teams, Shenandoah and Illinois State, right now currently head-to-head, kind of have almost even stats. There's a few disparities with them, as in their series win percentage and the games won and the games lost. Illinois State has more games lost than Shenandoah, so Shenandoah pulling out a lot more W's than Illinois State and hoping to pull out yet another W in the Buzzdown today.
Yeah, Shenandoah looking to advance to their second round competition here, but we're going to go ahead and take a look at the bracket for the varsity. Excuse the information in the top right of the screen. This is NECC Division VI Playoffs here for Marvel Rivals. As we see right there towards the top left, Shenandoah taking on Illinois State here in this matchup we're about to show to you. The winner of this match will be facing the winner of the game between Drexel and the University of Illinois Springfield.
Yeah, so, of course, with the way brackets work, whoever wins and the bracket above us, and then it is up to whether the Shenandoah and Illinois State game to see who is going to play against those.
Yeah, and right now we want to go ahead and get into the nitty-gritty of this. Look at the roster for Illinois State. Marvel Rivals team right now. Got some funky names right here. I don't know exactly how you say that. I have a better look here on my laptop. Inwanity? Whatever. Inwanity? Hey, we're going to say Inwanity. We'll find out. We got this one's a lot easier, though. We like this one. Mr. Tony 21. If you mess that up, there's some problems. Mr. Tony 21. Then we have Recovery 1. That's an interesting name. What does that mean? Who knows? They like ones on this team, I guess. Then we have ZZZ Market, so Sleep Market, I guess I would say. And then another funky name. Fawny. I'm assuming that the 4 is in place of an A, just to be like kind of quirky about it. And then you have X-Ball 7654.
I cannot wait to see what X-Ball 7654 does.
And if my notes are to be correct, X-Ball usually plays Gambit or Jeff.
That kind of name tracks with those character choices.
You are the Marvel Rivals expert here on the desk for us today, so you're going to know a little bit more than I am. I'm going to trust you on that one. But that is the away team. We are going to go ahead and take a look at the home team, the Shenandoah Hornets Marvel Rivals team, the starting roster here. We're going to go from left to right. We are going to go with Robot Ninja, Ultra Lee, Doughboy, Brujos, Kangaroo Feet, and Spook Pasito.
Man, I cannot wait to see Robot Ninja once again. Yeah. I have played with this man so much in Marvel Rivals. I cannot wait to see what he does. I'm hoping, we see a lot of Ultra Lee on that Spider-Man, though. Since the game has dropped, I've only heard him play one character, and it has only been Spider-Man.
Yeah, right now, I do have some notes on this. We have character-wise, Doughboy usually sticking to Invisible Woman Gambit, Robot Ninja sticking to Winter Soldier, Moon Knight. We have a substitute player, Gwenson?
Yeah.
Is that how you say their name?
Yes.
Their gamer tag? I don't want to mess that up. You have Ultra Lee on the, normally, like you mentioned, Spider-Man all the time. Kangaroo Feet on Punisher or Blade, Spookposito, Gambit, or support Deadpool. Because obviously, if you guys don't know, Deadpool just got added a couple months ago, I think, and can play any role in the game.
Yes.
Yes, because Deadpool just does what he wants. And then Brojo's sticking to that Magneto Captain America meta. But enough of that. We're going to go ahead. I think we may have gotten our first map for this series. Now, Marvel Rivals in NECC competition is a best of 5, and they do map bans after each map, so we don't know the rest of the map set for the series. Kind of like Overwatch, if anybody watching has seen Overwatch before. Right now, it looks like we are going to head over to Krakoa.
Yes. So, if you don't know anything about Krakoa,
yes.
If you don't know anything about Marvel or X-Men, Krakoa is, the place for the mutants. And Krakoa is a map that came out with the whole Hellfire Gala Battle Pass for Marvel Rivals. So it initially is a domination map. So the two teams will be fighting to hold the point to see who can reach that 100% first, and then they'll switch around and see who can get to 2 first.
Yeah, and as we can see on our screens right now, hero bans about to come through, coming in for the first hero ban. Now, on a map like Krakoa and a mode like Domination, is there any kind of characters you would think of that are specific to the map or the mode, or is it kind of just you're just always thinking meta?
So sometimes you always think meta, but also as we can kind of see with these player bans and the picks with a domination map, you often don't want to have too many people that can move you physically off the point. So seeing an Elsa ban, Elsa's ultimate can pull an entire team off a point, and then she can keep leading it backward. And that can be really crucial, especially if you are both fighting in overtime. If anyone can stop them from being up there, whether it comes to a character with a push, a grab, anything that can get them off the point is probably what they're looking to ban, or also looking to hold in their pocket for this match.
As we see a few character bans already coming through on either squad. Shenandoah opting to just now ban Lunas now. So, big ban from... actually, hold on. Excuse me. First time Marvel Rivals caster, my bad. They just picked Lunas now. Before that, they banned what I believe is Star-Lord. They picked Moon Knight before that, and then... kind of hard to see right there. They banned who first?
Venom.
Venom. I can't even see that. That's tough to see, but as you can see, the rest of these bans coming through. What are you kind of feeling the vibe from so far?
The kind of vibe I'm getting is a lot of the times with picks and bans, especially with how Rivals does it, and I think Overwatch might do it. I've never gotten to a pick ban spot in Overwatch, but they'll try to save certain characters for certain team comps. Our Rivals team does a lot of practice in having certain team comps set up for certain players to shine out in, and they try their best to hold that character and see if they don't get banned to build a team around that person. So you put that into mind, you put a plan together. Say they're like, oh, I want to make sure Doughboy can go in on, this Gambit. So then you're going to do whatever you can to essentially make sure Gambit doesn't get banned, and then you let that person choose the character first, and then it rolls into the rest of the team, and the bans are decided on essentially the strength of character. So Invisible Woman is one of the best, if not the best support in the game. And so, of course, you want to ban a high output support because, you don't want to deal with that. And she has an ult that says anyone in this area basically won't die unless they get one shot.
Yeah.
And that can change the tide at the end of a game.
And Illinois State maybe have done some note-taking here as, character probably going to get banned most of the time, but Doughboy, known for playing Invisible Woman, has now picked Gambit, who, very good character nonetheless. As we go from left to right, Robot Ninja on Moon Knight, Gwenson on, I believe that is, I can't believe I forgot her name.
Emma Frost.
Emma Frost. I never forget names. I'm a Marvel fan, guys, I promise. Ultra Lee on Spider-Man, Doughboy on Gambit, Joe's on the Magneto, and Spookposito on Luna Snow here as we enter Game 1.
And, we're right into it, seeing Ultra Lee go straight for that Spider-Man rollout, going right into point, trying to kind of scope out things for Shenandoah's side. He currently has Luna's guard, so if he takes any damage and Luna starts healing for him, he'll get healed, which is really good for Spider-Man. But we are straight into combat as Emma Frost is already pressing this aggression on their team. And we have some health bars getting pretty low, almost getting a pick on Magneto, but him retreating and getting healed.
Yeah, right now, Shenandoah winning this positioning battle, getting a little bit further, but the heals coming in there from Luna Snow going to help out on the side of Shenandoah. Going to have to back up a little bit here as one player looking like they're about to go down and don't so far able to stay alive, but Luna Snow getting tracked down and taken out along with Magneto. That's tough for Shenandoah, losing 2 players off the rip. Now going to lose positioning on the map here as I think we have some technical difficulties. Okay, we're back. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. That was just a really hard situation for Shenandoah to get out of. So what the Bucky did was hold in Spookbasuto and then uppercutted him back into the team. So there's essentially no way to fight through all 6 of those bodies to get through to heal the team. Getting a healer pick like that along with catching the tank really put Illinois State in a good spot to start capping point and making progress while Shenandoah dealing with that staggering death. As we hear ult from Isaiah, but it doesn't seem like too much happens and Rose is down.
Yeah, multiple players on the side of Shenandoah going down very quickly. Only the tank remaining, looking like it's not going to be remaining very long. Puts his shield up, trying to get away and regroup with the rest of their team to take the fight again. As you can see, ISU already up to 40% here on the capture.
Yeah, these staggered deaths is what can really change how a game goes. You're kind of, if you all get wiped, you can all come back together and regroup, but as your team slowly dies. But I guess that doesn't matter. Doughboy going in, ulting, seeing if they can push the team forward to try to at least get any percent on the point. Gwenson getting the fight through.
Yeah, right now, big plays there on the side of Shenandoah. One player, tank going down for ISU, along with another player. Now Shenandoah has a chance to take back this point, as the point is sitting at 70% here for ISU. But Luna Snow Flowers coming through to help out, get some heals going, and the last few players left on the side of ISU on the point going to get driven back as they're going to have to regroup and get ready for another attack.
Yeah, Shenandoah did a really good job there with that push, knowing exactly which ults to use and which ults they shouldn't use in the moment and allowing other people to build toward theirs. So Luna ulted there and was able to really hold Shenandoah in a good spot, being able to provide consistent healing, and if Spookbasuto so decided, a pretty good damage buff. But in the moment, it was better to heal.
Yeah, and Hulk trying to make a play here, trying to make a flank, try and catch ISU off guard, and is going to, at least for a second now, in a 1v3 here against the Hulk and a few other resident ISU players looking to get some damage in as the rest of Shenandoah team comes through to try and help. Heals coming in, Spider-Man trying to get some damage down on the other team. Going to grab the Hulk, bring him over to Shenandoah's side, going to do some more damage, but right now currently at a stalemate. However, Shenandoah raised their percentage up to 45 on the capture.
Yeah, they're fighting them outside of the point, making sure they can't get there, making sure no one goes behind them. And we see Oshuli going in with the ult, trying to get a few kills, but not able to secure any. Magneto coming in with this ult, trying to take out the support. But Broad Joe's, his own Magneto shield coming in and protecting his healer.
Yeah, 2 ults right now ready. One ready on the side of ISU as 2 of the players that did have ults went down. So probably not going to see this third one pop off just yet. Going to hold on to that. But Shenandoah at 71% and looking to clear off this last player from ISU off the point. Keep increasing their current percentage as they now tie ISU and get ahead of them. As you can see, some ability usage there from the side of ISU, looking to clear Shenandoah out this time. Fight back. This might get a little bit hectic here heading into the last few seconds of this map.
Yeah,
this round.
As we see, that Cloak and Dagger ult it makes it really hard when it provides consistent healing to the team and also damages the enemy. But Spookbasuto going in, catching the ult at the perfect time, getting hit by that Namor ult, but surviving, able to keep the team going. Gwenson going in once again, Monster Hulk trying to secure some more kills.
Yeah, and right now, Rojo's looking to just get ISU off. Get out of here. Get off this point. Looking to deal with the Hulk right now, and not going to be able to just yet. Armed and Dangerous coming in from Bucky. Now looking for more damage. Hulk is going to turn back into Bruce Banner, and that is going to spell the end for ISU here in the first round of map number 1. Shenandoah makes the comeback. A few changes. I think one change in character towards the start of the round is going to help them in the long run as they go up 1-0 here in map number 1.
I mean, yeah, we saw that last fight. It got really scrappy in the end, but one of the biggest things about Rivals is that some of those ults in those fights are game changers.
Yeah.
You throw in a Luna ult right when the rest of your team is about to die, and it brings everybody back up to full health. That can change a fight to where the other team is down ult. A lot of the times, the support players, they follow like a certain 2 to 3 second rule, meaning if you're playing Luna and I'm also playing Luna and you ult first, I wait 3 seconds for your ult and then I do mine, meaning when you're running out, I'm still going and my team can use that chance to make that push.
Yeah, just ult overlap, trying to make sure, counting seconds down to set your team up for greatness. And as you can see off rip, we have one ultimate ready on the side of Shenandoah in the form of Magneto's ult. As we head into round number 2, we'll say Magneto on the other side up to 80%. So getting close. Ult's not really that much of a factor here early on in the second round.
Yeah. Ults early on kind of are important, kind of isn't important. It truly depends. With a Magneto ult, though, he's able to easily take any support out that's in an ultimate that is keeping their team alive. So, Bro Joes could be waiting and holding for a Cloak and Dagger ult and then throwing it at the Cloak and Dagger so the team then loses that healing.
Yeah, healing is what Magneto needs at the moment, trying to take some of the damage as Hope goes in on to some damage there for Shenandoah, but going to get backed up now, looking to regroup as ISU currently has control of the point. Now, ult's still there for both Magnetos, one on each side. And as we see, Hope going to go down there for ISU, making a little bit of a mistake there, reaching out too much. Now, Shenandoah going to be able to take more space back as Gwenson goes in for the kill, looking for some damage to set up their team for some more kills. Couple of ults coming out onto the field. Chaos erupting here on the map.
Yeah, a lot of ults coming out on runs. This Magneto trying to take out Doughboy, but they were able to quickly escape with Gambit's amazing movement with the fact that he's able to extend his dashes by using other abilities. Escaping that Magneto ult was huge. One, a wasted ult on their part, and they still got value out of the Gambit ult. Able to finally cap point Shenandoah, making some progress into turning this around.
Yeah, Shenandoah has 4 out of 6 ults right now, but ISU slowly gaining progress on their own ults. Gonna have 3 here in a couple seconds, but still one less. Like you mentioned, Magneto's very good for taking out supports, and Shenandoah has their own support ult on the back burner. This is going to be a tough retake here for ISU.
Yeah, Nero watching some more spawning back game from Ocho Lee, but instantly switching to Robot Ninja, able to secure 2 kills with this ultimate, pushing the team backward, forcing them closer to their spawn, getting another kill on their tank. Shenandoah really pressing the aggression. Nobody really standing on the point on our team. Everyone's kind of right up in their face, fighting them, making sure they can't go anywhere.
Yeah, giving themselves a little bit of extra cushion there on the push as Lunasto looking to get some kills as some attacks come through on Shenandoah. And they're in a pretty good spot here, sitting at 53% compared to ISU's 34%. They're struggling to get back, but they are gaining some ults right here. They have 3. Shenandoah has 3. Both teams still having their other players gain. As we see Judge, Jury, Executioner, Punisher coming out, trying to lay down some damage, lay down the law. Hope doing some damage himself. Joe's looking to slow down the other team. Gonna look to take Hope out as he escapes there for a second, but now Bruce Banner gonna probably die here in a few seconds, and does. ISU gonna have to go back and regroup once again.
Yeah, Dire Death coming back up. Shenandoah continuing to push them back, and we still have a support ult to our use. Doughboy almost getting back to theirs. Robot Ninja almost right back up at 100% to drop that Moon Knight ult once again, as Shenandoah is now sitting at 93% on the point.
Yeah, this is ISU's last chance. They're gonna have to pop every ult here, try to retake this point. And right now, it's going to be tough because we do still have an ult. Oh, however, Luna Snow going down. This is going to make it a lot tougher for Shenandoah to hold this point. ISU getting 5 kills so far. Only player on the side of Shenandoah left is Grenson, who is going to fall back and regroup with the team as ISU still has life remaining here in this round number 2.
Yeah, I mean, that was just a really insane push coming from ISU's side, running right into Shenandoah, dropping the ult. The unfortunate part for Shenandoah is that maybe that fight could have gone differently if the Luna was able to stay up and ult. But ISU said, I'm not going to let Luna ult go off. We're going to take her out real quick and force you guys back in the back burner. As Shenandoah now is kind of scrapping to get point back for even just a second so they can take this round.
Yeah, Hulk popping their ult, looking for some damage, trying to push ISU back off of the point. gain some positioning here for Shenandoah. Another ult from ISU getting popped. Now Luna Snow decides it's time, going to pop their ult, looking to keep their teammates' health up as high as possible. But still, ISU fighting back for now, and only one player down on their side, but they're going to respawn here in a couple seconds. Another kill, however, 2 more players go down, 3 more players go down for ISU. Shenandoah looking to finish it here in round number 2, and they will. Shenandoah going to take map number 1 here in this best of 5.
Yeah, map number 1 in a very, very clean 2-0. Shenandoah getting pushed back with saying, you know what, all right, we'll take that moment to breathe, come back around, and take the victory as easy as they fought for it.
Yeah, and the difference there in that retake is definitely going to be the fact that Lunar Snow stayed up that time, able to pop their ult and just kept all of their teammates alive, and ISU just not able to withstand that battle there at the end for control of the point. Shenandoah takes it 2 straight rounds, and they win map number 1 here. Now, this is round number 1 of the NECC Division VI Playoffs, so you lose this, you go home.
Yeah, and as we can see in some of these replays, we saw a lot of good teamwork from Shenandoah working together to get kills, and you can see in a lot of the kill feeds, a lot of the time making sure that they can go through, sweep through together, and keep each other alive as the healers, at least all the time that I saw, was really making sure everybody was topped off, everybody's health was as high as it can be during all of the fights.
Yeah, and it ended up being a battle of attrition there towards the end. We see the Gambit game here. Shenandoah, like you mentioned, great teamwork from them. These guys play together all the time, and I think here, after go ahead and pass, but I think we got some left. That's my bad.
Yeah, I mean, once again, you've seen this replay. Ultra League going in, instantly switching to Isaiah, just throwing out that Moon Knight ult, and it's just always devastating to another team, especially when they're in a choke like that. Drop an ult in a small room, and you're always going to get value out of that.
Yeah, and I do want to mention right now, you can tell me, because like I look at these stats, I know Marvel Rivals like damage blocked and just damage stats get really, really high, so you can tell me if there's like an abnormal stat. But right now, seeing the 19,000 damage blocked there for Brejos, doing a great job there, keeping all the damage to himself for Shenandoah. But just on the other side as well, 23,000 for Mr. Tony 21 and Inwanity with 23,000 damage blocked. Also want to mention healing, a big factor in Marvel Rivals, especially you got 6 players on there and you got 2 healers. Everybody's constantly going up in health so fast that those taking out those supports is incredibly important.
Yeah, I mean, if you can go in and take the supports out before a big fight, it instantly shuts down the enemy team. But sometimes you can shut down just one support and the other one can do just fine. So it really does come down to the player and also the kind of support that they are currently at. But moving into some of the stats from this game, we see Robot Ninja first with 9 final hits and an overall KDA of 9. Moving into Ultra Elite, 4 final hits. Doughboy on that gambit, also another 4 final hits, going in and sneaking some kills even though they're playing support, getting a few picks. Brujos, 6 final hits, 6 KDA overall. Supercedo, 5 final hits, 3.5 KDA, and Gwenson with 6 and a 14 KDA.
And the side of ISU and Wanity, 6 final hits, 2.3 KDA. Mr. Tony, 21, 4 final hits, 1.8 KDA. Recovery 1 on Punisher, 2 final hits, 0.8 KDA. 2 final hits and a 1.3 KDA for Sleep Market. Fani gonna have 0 final hits, unfortunately, and a 1.0 KDA. And X-Ball sitting at 5 final hits and a 1.5 KDA. Anything speak to you? Just immediately looking at these stats.
I will say it is kind of normal, especially for a Cloak and Dagger, to not really have any final hits, as Cloak and Dagger has a really good healing output, and a lot of times when you have a Cloak and Dagger on your team, you would prefer them to only play Dagger because Dagger heals Cloak, although is able to use the cape and save the team. You don't want to sit there and play Cloak the entire time, although they are a duo unit in one.
Yeah.
Most of the times you'll get yelled out in game chat if you only play Cloak.
Yeah, so still getting some stuff done there. I can take a look at these stats here for a second. That was funny, so Yeah, like you mentioned, healing output really good. Fawny ended that map with 24,530 healing. So, like you mentioned, great healing output there. Although unable to get the job done against Shenandoah here in this map number 1 as they go up 1-0. And we are going to go ahead and take a look at the second map here in this best of 5. Is this normal, Shin Shibuya?
I personally don't like that Shin Shibuya is back in rotation for a lot of things. I don't know how long it's been in rotation for competition, but it was taken out of competitive rotation and has only been recently added back. And I, along with some of the player base, do not like Shin Shibuya, and its return is not the greatest.
Unfortunate. You know, as a Call of Duty fan and ranked player, I understand your pain. I get it. But you know, Shin Shibuya, is there any, like, I'm going to ask you the same thing I asked you for the first map. Anything you'd normally see that's different because of the map here, or is it still just normal meta stuff?
Sometimes it's normal meta stuff. Shin Shibuya has a lot more small rooms you can end up in, or small little enclosed spaces while you're pushing the point.
Yeah.
So you have to be really careful because there's a spot where you're trying to get to the initial point to then turn it into the payload. You will walk down a very, very narrow hallway, and there's rooms on the side to get easily dived from and picked off. It takes a lot of planning sometimes in Shin Shibuya to not get caught off guard and, you know, end up losing.
So communication going to be a huge asset here if we're speaking on this map specifically. And we see a few of the bans and a few of these hero selects starting off. We are going to see SU. I think this is the same 2 picks they had off rip. They banned the Venom and we keep Invisible Woman. And on the other side, ISU, we are going to see a ban on Moon Knight. And tough to see that character. I can't really see that.
It is also Bloodstone.
Also Bloodstone. Okay.
So she is also a new character that came out very, very recently. She was
after Deadpool, right?
Yes, she was right after Deadpool. So a season ago, probably not even just that, a season ago, probably a couple weeks ago. And she is just insanely strong. And her whole thing is to pick you off. And a lot of her one-shot combos are only on cooldowns of upward of as low as 2 seconds.
Oh my! Really?
Yes.
Normally, I wouldn't react like that on a broadcast with 2-second cooldown for moves. Are kind of crazy. As we see here, a ban on Luna Snow from ISU, a pick there on Groot, a ban on Moon Knight, Protect there on, I believe, Star-Lord, which SU banned last map. We're going to see SU going ahead and protecting Doctor Strange, banning Magneto, and character in the middle. Is that
Gambit?
Gambit? It is Gambit. Okay. Didn't want to. It's really hard. You know, maybe I am getting old. Maybe I am getting old. Some people have told me I'm getting old, and I think I might be. It's hard to see those squares. We have a gigantic TV back here, but we're still like about 7 feet away, and I am struggling seeing those tiny squares on my screen.
I would say it's more of a game knowledge and icon thing.
Is it?
Like,
that is a thing.
I can easily tell you each character that was picked and was
like,
banned.
Seeing right here, like I can see these squares just fine. I know who all those characters are. Like I see right now, left to right, we got Doughboy on Invisible Woman, Benson on Doctor Strange, Deadpool for Spoosito, Brad Jones is going to have Hela, and then Robot Ninja is on Namor, correct?
Yes.
And then Ultra Lee on Penny Park.
Once again, Ultra Lee on another spider-themed character.
You got beef with him for this. I think. Do you have beef with him for this?
No, this isn't beef.
Okay.
This is just Ultra Lee really loves anything Spider-Man related. When the game dropped in the beta, it was Spider-Man and Penny.
I mean, it's Spider-Man. To be fair, like in his defense, it's Spider-Man.
Sometimes you got to take the mask off.
Oh. Crazy quote there as we enter map number 2. The fighting now begins. Both teams vying for positioning here. You want to tell us a little bit about this mode?
So, in the Convergence mode, it's kind of a mixture of pushing the payload and also domination. So, as you can see, the little icon in the center under the verses is they have to hit those 3 notches before they can get the payload out and push it. Meaning, they could get fully held right at this spot and not able to do anything else. Or they could start pushing the payload and then get fully held afterwards. This game mode takes a little bit more time as you have to go through 2 different stages to then be able to win.
Yeah, a lot like Overwatch game mode. If anybody here watched Overwatch and you haven't watched Marvel Rivals before, right now Shenandoah is going to be playing defense. ISU on the attack here. We are currently at a stalemate. Deadpool gonna look to get some shots and get some damage on the other team, as there is just chaos. There are lights everywhere, particle effects everywhere. Right now, a huge ability usage there. Gonna almost take Root out, but fortunately unable to. Now ISU is gaining ground here until this ability here from Deadpool coming out to stop that push.
Yeah, we see Supercito going in on the support Deadpool, being able to get the jackpot with the ultimate. And as you can see, Shenandoah going really, but Doughboy hates, absolutely despises Dr. Strange ult and uses that invisible woman push him away, losing value from that ult. But to continue with what I was going to say, Shenandoah is playing a really defensive team setup, especially with the Penny Parker and the Namor, being able to essentially set up things as traps, being able to move around on the Penny Parker nest, and from the recent buffs that she got, being able to get a little bit of healing on them, and just really kind of locking a space down and making sure ISU can't even get to the point. As you can see, they've made no progress on it.
Yeah, now teams making contact with each other. Group wall comes up there a couple times here as they're looking for positioning. Now Penny Parker going to get dragged into the middle of that, tries to get back out, able to just for now. Brenson going in with the Doctor Strange, looking to protect their team at least for another second, but they have successfully backed down ISU for now. However, there's a straggler there on the right side of the screen as Winston's looking to keep them at bay as well. And right now, like you mentioned, this setup doing wonders here for Shenandoah, at least for the time being. ISU now gaining ground. Another group wall comes up, looking to do some damage and get onto the point.
Yeah, and I mean, as we saw, Rud Joes was really quick to trying to break the Ironwood. So Groot has a wall that provides him with certain buffs, damage buffs or buffs to the people that are around him. So usually, if you can hear them saying like, I destroyed the Ironwood, they're trying to find that wall to then kind of mess with Groot a bit so he doesn't have as much strength as he would.
Yeah, and right now, ISU is going to have to fight pretty hard here. They do have 4 ults, however, they don't have their entire team with them, so they're going to have to delay their push for now. Hold off at least for a few seconds. You don't have much longer, but you're going to need to pop those ults soon. And on the side of Shenandoah, you only have 2 ults. You do have Robot Ninjas coming in pretty soon, so you're going to have to try to delay their push at least up until then. Try to get on even ground. And right now, the first ult from ISU going to get popped as they make the push. A second one, armed and dangerous. Bucky looking for some kills, not finding anything just yet. Now some ults being popped on the side of Shenandoah, looking to keep ISU away from the point, but they're going to have to back down as multiple kills come through on Shenandoah. They only have 3 players remaining, all 3 looking to back up for now as ISU starting to take these points.
Yeah, so Recovery 1 switched to this Phoenix, and Phoenix is a really hard counter to people like Hela and especially Penny Parker, because when Phoenix ults, she goes up in the air and slams down, and instantly she one-shots any deployable. And Hela's ult, where she goes in the air, is technically a deployable, meaning she can fly straight into that ultimate and instantly shut down anyone there.
Yeah, and that's going to be there for ISU, but now into overtime, they have to capture this last segment if they want to push this round any further than they have right now. But that's going to be tough when most of your team goes down. You only have 1 player left, and they aren't able to get back onto the point in time. Round 1 now complete. Shenandoah looking to beat that capture progress percentage with, you know, they ran out of time, unfortunately, there, so the time a non-factor here.
Yeah, so Shenandoah, just like you were saying, really looking forward to going into this match, and essentially all they need is maybe a couple seconds on the point to then bypass what ISU is at and then take the point that they need, win the second game.
Yeah, all they need to do is take 1 point here, and 3 segments, 1 point, I guess.
So
what's the verbiage that Marvel Rivals players use?
I personally don't know, but I know the segments that they have to cover. So it depends on what the enemy team gets at. So if the enemy team started to get some progress on the first segment and then they move into this part, then all Shenandoah, I think, has to do is finish the first segment. But we see Doughboy here enjoying the new disco, theme stuff for Invisible Woman, breaking it down, trying to give the team some morale. Supercito not having a dance emo, but moving back and forth to just kind of mess around.
Yeah, Deadpool just want nothing to do with this. Very confused right now here. He looked ahead into the second round. This is just chaos. The Marvel Rivals I've noticed, just complete chaos on all fronts. Every second of the game, even like we see here in the spawn room. Just never ends. It never ends. All particles all the time here as we get started. Shenandoah now on the attack here in this second round. Not too much work to do. Only have to pass the amount of progress that ISU had in order to win this round as they make first contact. Dr. Strange has a shield up.
Yes, so that's Strange holding the shield up, blocking a lot of damage in a large machine. Dr. Strange only gets a certain amount of health that the shield has, but it is a great amount of health. It takes a lot to break that thing down. The one thing it can't do is block certain melee attacks. So like a magic sword goes straight through the shield and does damage to him without damaging the shield. You see though, Fukushida popping this Deadpool ult, which I can't tell if it's upgraded, but when support Deadpool ults or any Deadpool uses the ult when he has his guns out, can essentially make it so that the other person misses. And the more abilities and primary fire shots that they miss, the more damage they take, the more debuffs that they take, and also sometimes the more healing buffs that Deadpool and his team gets. But we see Gwenson going right in, portaling the point, making sure that Shenandoah keeps trying to fight for this momentum.
Yeah, really aggressive play here, sending the portal straight above the point. Now Groot Wall is going to stop any line of sight, at least there for a second. Dr. Strange looking to still put in some work here as there's a fight on the other side here that the rest of the Shenandoah Hornets are taking on right now. Fukushida going down. That's not great here. Doughboy looking to heal their teammate, and the rest of the Shenandoah team going to have to back up and reposition and regroup and re-strategize now. But you have Bro Joe's over here getting chased down by a couple of ISU players.
Yeah, Bro Joe's finding themselves a bit out of position, especially on that Hela, only having one kind of good movement ability and then having to walk the rest of the way. But Bro Joe's able to find themselves back to Shenandoah's team spot and able to regroup.
Yeah,
see, Isaiah on this Namor has this ult ready. Watch out for the Hawkeye ult out, instantly taken out.
Yeah, quick ult there. Right now, Hawkeye looking for some more kills, going to take out ISU, going to take out Gwenson there as well. Now ISU has 5 of their 6 ults. Shenandoah sitting at 2 with people that are alive right now. Third one waiting to respawn as Shenandoah are going to look to regroup again. Not looking good here. Haven't gotten any progress, and there's only a minute and a half remaining. It's going to be tough to try and retake this, but you do have 5 ults. One going to get used. Wait, yeah.
So the ult that Ultra Lee went for on that Penny got canceled because he got webbed. So now it dropped him to 50% on his ultimate. And this fight is going to be as overstimulated as you might think. They all have ults up. You never know who's going to pull. Support ult is coming out. Fukushida getting the jackpot, providing some good healing to his teammates, but will it be enough for Shenandoah to get these kills and take points?
Yes, Deadpool Goomba stomps around the point, looking to put some damage out onto ISU, but it's not working. Z Market gonna get 3 kills. Iwanity takes out another Shenandoah player. You're at 50 seconds, 3 ults. Shenandoah going to try and retake this, get some capture percentage here, as you haven't gotten any so far. ISU sitting at 2 ults, Shenandoah at 3, so they do have the edge when it comes to that. But the longer you wait, the closer the rest of the ISU players get to their ults.
Yeah, and as you see, Doughboy here with the ultimate ready. Hopefully the team can get together. The Cloak and Dagger going straight to ulting everybody, dropping ults in an all-out brawl, trying to get this final point. Gwenson jumping in and getting a really good ult with people that aren't on the Cloak and Dagger ult, but they get Groot ulted, and that absolutely runs Shenandoah dry.
And that Groot ult going to take out 3 players now. Only 1 player remaining, that is Ultra Lee, who's going to try to swing around on the point, at least slow it down there.
Yeah, Ultra Lee hopping on point there, trying to do some damage, start overtime to give his team a chance to make it. Seeming that it worked, as we see another portal coming out from Gwenson, hopefully in enough time to take the point.
Yeah, and right now, the Shenandoah players coming through out of that portal, looking to extend this map out even longer. Right now, Brojo's looking to put some damage out, but teammates going down left and right. Gwenson, Ultra Lee gone off the map for now. Robot Ninja looking to put some work in on the Star-Lord. Gets some damage down, gets a kill. 1 player down, 2 players down for ISU. Shenandoah still has a chance here. some ability usage gonna help it out, and they're looking to capture this point. They have a chance. They cannot leave this capture point.
Yeah, Shenandoah has to be extremely careful. One accidental step off could be the round.
And looks like that's exactly what just happened. Shenandoah does not reach the capture percentage there for ISU, who is going to take that number 2 with a 1-0 final score.
You know, I was doing pretty good, not having a caster curse. You know, I've been behind the desk a few times. Haven't said anything too bad.
That was instantaneous.
And I went on and just kind of mentioned briefly.
To be fair, I'll take some of the blame for that because I did mention they can't leave the point like right before that. So I did like alley-oop the caster curse to you.
Unfortunately, it happens to the best of us.
It does.
Sometimes we step off and we believe we are still on, and rival says no. But moving straight into these replays, we see very strategic ult usage from Shenandoah, although some of them not entirely hitting the mark, doing what they can in the replay to hold off ISU.
Yeah, and keep looking at these replays. Unfortunately, like Shenandoah, really good defense on their side of things, but unfortunately, on the attack side, just stalled out way too many times and didn't really get warmed up there until it was too late in the round. Then you're stuck trying to gather up all that percentage there just in overtime alone.
Yeah, sometimes it is really difficult, especially in a game like Marvel Rivals. If your team runs out of ultimates right when you need them the most, or your support dies while ulting, that can change everything. And it really does take planning and making sure you use your ultimate at the right times.
Yeah, it kind of feels like a lot of Marvel Rivals is just a lot of poke damage until a team gets more ults than the other team, and then they all decide to use them at once, and it's a battle, it's a war of attrition at that point.
Yeah. A lot of the things with Rivals is the fact that you can go in and have a 6-person ult dump, and as long as the enemy team just kind of looks at it in terror, you will easily get a team wipe.
Yeah, unfortunately, Shenandoah not able to accomplish that as when they needed it. Drills we mentioned earlier getting caught, you know, out of position. It will make it back in time, but this just a too slow of a start there for Shenandoah on the attack side is going to be a loss here in map number 2 in this best of 5. Where do you go from here?
So I would say in Shenandoah's spot, you know, I feel like I'm watching a lot of holding ults for maybe a lot longer than it needs to be held for, which could possibly spell disaster for Shenandoah. There comes a point in time to where you might be holding your ult all game because you're like, man, I just can't find the right spot. And right when you go for it in the end, you lose it and then you don't have it anymore. So one of the best things you can do is, if you feel like you're going to get value out of your ultimate right in that moment, sometimes it's just easy to pop the ult and move on.
Yeah, and then just start regaining the charge percentage after that. Because then maybe you can get some usage out of it earlier. Because maybe it's the more important time is just earlier in the stage. Even though, like, you know, everybody thinks that you get towards the end of the round, that's the most important time. But sometimes the most important time is way earlier, and you need to use it then and there. Kind of like I'm gonna make a little bit of a jump here. Kind of like team timeouts in football when it gets close to the end of a game, and it's like, do I use it now or do I wait till the 2-minute warning and then use it after? It's tough. It's a tough decision, especially in a game like Marvel Rivals where there's 5 million abilities being used at all times. You can barely hear yourself think. And it's so that those second-to-second decisions get increasingly more difficult as you go on through the series. And right now, speaking of the series, we have the third map here in this best of 5. We are going to go on to Yggdrasil Path.
Yes.
Let's go. I'm patting myself on the back for that one. Yggdrasil Path on the mode.
So we are on Convoy now. So we had Domination, then we had Convergence, now we're on Convoy. So now they don't have to sit there and finish capping the Convergence point. They can go straight in to pushing that payload on Yggdrasil Path.
Oh, payload. Love Overwatch, love Marvel Rivals right now, and it looks like we are getting into the team bans off rip. SU, we swap sides here, so SU banning the Venom, it's like a given at this point. They're just going to ban the Venom every time at the start.
Yeah, I mean, that's also a lot of the times when people choose picks and bans are what team-ups does that character have that then leads into what ban should I do. A lot of characters get extremely better if they have a certain team-up with them. So if you think of an Ultron,
Yeah.
Ultron doesn't have the best healing output, but the team up with Iron Man allows Ultron to get a really good healing beam that then allows for him to heal more. So you also have to look further into character depth of understanding who has what team ups, who's got the current season buffs, what is meta right now, and how do we deal with that.
Yeah, and right now, Shenandoah opting to protect Punisher and ban Gambit. On the side of ISU, they are going to ban the Elsa Bloodstone?
Yes.
Okay.
Once again, Elsa is
Perfect.
a
I love
very
it.
consistent ban.
Yeah.
Elsa is one of those characters to where
Is Venom consistent?
Venom has also been a consistent ban.
Okay, so it's usually when you go down the hero bans in Marvel Rivals, it's kind of just one team bans the guy that the other team would have banned if they didn't do it, and then it's just vice versa.
Yeah, there's some bans that are a given. So like
Yeah.
Gambit is a very given ban because he just has so much versatility
Yeah.
as a strategist. And also like I said, banning that Elsa coming in this new season, receiving a nerf in quotations as they changed not all
like
too much about her, and she still can absolutely decimate teams without the use of really any team ups or even any team fights. Like I said,
Yeah.
Elsa's one-shot combo, she can repeat that over and over again on at least altogether about a 5-second cooldown, especially pulling in her ultimate, which is the Glartrox.
Yeah.
Giant monster that runs out, grabs the team, and pulls them back to them. It's just, that can instantly change everything.
Yeah, honestly, the nerf you're talking about kind of sounds like a Tekken 8 nerf in a way, which is opening up a whole other can of worms. But let's go through the rest of these hero picks and bans right now. SU going to fill out the rest of their picks and bans with a pick on Invisible Woman and a ban on, I believe, Moon Knight. And on the side of ISU, looking to ban icons. Having trouble with the icon there in the middle.
ISU in the middle, that middle ban is Hela.
Hela, it is Hela. Okay, scared to say that. And they're going to also pick Magneto, ban Doctor Strange. Seemingly maybe had a little bit of trouble with the Doctor Strange from SU on the last side. Maybe think, hey, let's get him out of there. Let's not have to deal with him. And we are getting ready to head into map number 3, Convoy, as we see Mr. Marvel Rival himself. Look at him.
Yeah.
Look at the little guy. And he's doing the thing.
Jeff is always doing the thing. Personally,
What? All right, settle down, everybody. Settle down out there. We can't be doing that.
pretty excited to go out into the next round. As we can see, Shenandoah is on offense first. So they'll be pushing that point down. Doughboy, once again, still doing whatever she wants on this Jeff right now in weight. I'm excited to see Robot Ninja with this Bucky out on the field.
Yeah, that Bucky is going to be incredibly helpful here for SU if Robot Ninja succeeds this map, I guess. I don't know if that's the right way to put it, but plays well this map, I guess, is a better way of putting it. And already laying down the damage. Going ahead and getting some hit scan damage out on the map. Love to see that as a COD player. Going to send out some ability usage, some smoke on the ground. Bit of a shield there for ISU. Groot wall coming up for ISU here as both teams engage in a fight. Right now, Brujo's going to take out Recovery 1. And also, Mr. Tony going down for ISU. This is looking to be a quick momentum shift here for SU.
Yeah, and we see Brujo's on this cap. So essentially, what the Rivals team for Shenandoah has done is a lot of them have switched to their best characters or a lot of their Lord characters that they have the most time on and said, I'm not going to lose this, so let's go out guns blazing. And as of right now, it is working wonders for Shenandoah as they has almost brought the payload first point.
Yeah, big shift here from map number 2. We're starting off hot here for Shenandoah right now. Deadpool gonna come out already right now, looking to slow down that ISU defense, trying to get them away, push that convoy even further. Hope putting in the damage, not enough so far, gonna get exiled, it looks like. I think that's what it said. Right now, more hit scan and 4 players on the side of ISU now going down, as they are looking up to clean up the last guy there, and Mr. Tony going to fall as well. ISU going to have to regroup back in their own spawn as Shenandoah reaches the first checkpoint here in map number 3.
Yeah, I can really only imagine that at this point, Robot Ninja is probably mad. Coming out on this Bucky, maybe that last round didn't do too hot on his mental and morale. And so he decided, I'm going to switch the Bucky, I'm going to press Q, and I'm going to take your whole team down. And I cannot wait to see how Bucky does his infamous, what the people who founded the Rivals team call his crash out.
His crash out, yeah, right now. Punisher with his turret up there, up top, laying down the law. Robot Ninja going to get one for SU. And right now, SU having 4 ults. They have all the power in the world. ISU, one player now back up to full speed, but an ult gonna come out from here for ISU, looking to push Shenandoah back. Doughboy gonna fall back right now, and the rest of the SU team gonna get swallowed up there right now. No, excuse me, SU swallowing up the rest of the ISU team, now looking to just send them off the map. Bye-bye, see ya. Looking to get back on. They're looking like a Smash game, trying to get back on stage, and 3 players for ISU going to go down as Shenandoah taking more and more momentum here. There is a player left, at least for a second there. Now all ISU players back at spawn, looking to regroup and retry.
Yeah, so what we saw there was Doughboy had a really amazing setup for that Jeff ult, swallowing the enemy team, sending her teammates out to go and fight for the point, and trying to send them all off the map, just barely getting shy of the edge, but still able to sneakily get an offstage kill, just like anybody would in Smash Bros. But Robot Ninja coming out with this crash out. Let's see how many times we can hear again here today's stream.
Yeah, unfortunately, no agains right there, but there is going to be a lot of damage output here. Few shots ringing out across the map there. Kind of a stalemate at the moment, not finding anything until now. Bucosito going to go down for SU. Everyone getting a pick right there. Now, ISU looking to fight back, push Shenandoah back further. This might be their first successful defense here on this round, and still kind of in a stalemate. A lot of abilities being used right now.
Yeah, and as we see, Kangaroo Feet coming out with this Punisher ult, sending out this heavy artillery, trying to shred the entire team to allow for Shenandoah to go in and push further to taking the ground. Yeah,
we're getting close towards the end of the trail here for the payload right now, pushing ISU back into their own spawn. That ult usage doing working wonders here for SU. We mentioned it earlier, maybe, you know, trying to send out those ults a little bit quicker than they had been doing before, and that's going to work out here as they're looking to try to end the last few players here for ISU as this payload is getting close to the target.
Yeah, and I mean, we saw Kangaroo Food on that Punisher just setting up that turret and letting the payload move him forward while he just gets to mow down the enemy team. Shenandoah doing some real good pressure here, trying to make sure they can push this point, but getting picked and Wendy catching a kill on Kangaroo Feet. They are just absolutely pushing Shenandoah right now. We have seen the switch from Recovery 1 to Wolverine, who is a tank buster. Wolverine's claws do percent health, and essentially, if you're a tank, you have higher percent health. Wolverine is able to shred through you easily. And with the fact that we have Winston on this Hulk, could be a little bit scary. It takes a lot more for Wolverine to catch up to this cap that Bro Joe's is on, but is able to easily shut down and catch up.
Yeah, right now Wolverine going to pin Captain America there for just a second. Also gets grabbed, but still alive and still putting up work because of that ult right now being used. Looking to lay down some damage there for SU as they're getting closer to the target. Deadpool coming in to help out right there. An ult from the Hulk on the side of SU, going to also try to slow down SU, but a few ults being placed absolutely everywhere. Everybody's using it. It's time. Everybody throw your ults out, and a huge shot there from Robot Ninja going to kill X-Ball. Now Doughboy has one enemy, gonna just throw them as far back behind the payload as they can, and now we're in a 1v1 here. Gonna see if Doughboy can take this kill. And just going to opt to leave and go back to the rest of their team. Nope, going to keep fighting that one here as we go back to Punisher. Going to get a kill there. And right now, ISU, only 3 players remaining as SU's right in front of the goal. Looking to try and take this round here. And they will successfully deliver the payload.
But, very end, that Bucky coming out and stopping Doughboy. Taking it personal from that 1v1 that Doughboy unfortunately ran from to go and heal the team, which was the better issue. A lot more value from that than sitting there fighting off a duelist. I was just going to say how I was like, man, I never got to see how that 1v1 ended. I didn't see the kill log until right at the very end, where poor Jeff the Land Shark was taken out from behind by Sleep Market on that Bucky.
Yeah, unfortunately. How long, in a situation like that, how long should you engage in that 1v1 if you're a Jeff player?
Well,
should you like maybe I'll lay down a little bit of damage so that they're kind of low still if they do decide to like come back?
So if
or
you're
do you
able
just like
to finish them
say
off,
screw this, I'm going back?
if you're able to finish them off, definitely do that. Getting a pick on a duelist as strong as Bucky, especially when playing Jeff, is an amazing idea. However, sometimes leaving an opponent behind you with health left can spell for disaster, just like we saw at the very last clip of that game.
So you would say it's better to just keep them occupied over here as long as you can because you already took yourself out of the play to begin with?
Yes, it kind of goes in both ways with the gaining and lacking of value, though. If you think about it, their team loses the duelist, but for the time being, while Jeff tries to win that fight, Shenandoah loses a healer.
Yeah.
And that could change everything.
Yeah, it's tough. You know, you got to weigh your options there. Like, do you need to get back to your team, or is your job right now to keep the other player at bay? However, it doesn't matter now. Shenandoah has 4 of 3. ISU is going to have to deliver this payload as fast as Shenandoah did, or faster. Try and keep their hopes alive here in map number 3. Right now, Groot Wall coming out here, early contact. Groot on the side of ISU. Inwanity. How do you say these names? I'm getting a little confused here, but a player goes down. Is ZZZ Market going to lose their life to Brojos? Robot Ninja going to take out Diamond Lotus. Now, Shenandoah early on defense successful.
Yeah, I mean, you like Robot Ninja right out on this Bucky. The force to be reckoned with, and we're actively seeing it as he went on a, I think, triple kill streak. Absolutely going to the team. We saw him kick that Groot off and keep pushing, pulling their Cloak and Dagger off of their hiding spot and finishing them off.
Yeah, however, Robot Ninja now going down. This is ISU's chance. However, Deadpool going to pop their ult for Shenandoah. Luposito looking to stay up, trying to keep that ult popped right now. Kangaroo Feet getting close to their own. Right now, keeping ISU at bay at least for the moment here, as both teams fighting it out for control over the payload. And right now, it's working for ISU. They are pushing Shenandoah back at least a little bit, but looking like it's going to go back. Spookmosito picks Mr. Tony 21 off Kangaroo Feet. However, goes down for Shenandoah. Teams getting traded right now. This is kind of a stalemate.
Yeah, but Shenandoah, that's what they want. Shenandoah wants a stalemate to hold them at one spot. We see that Groot ult from Gwenson just absolutely decimating the team, pulling them all in the one spot, putting the wall behind so the branches lash out and make it so that they're able to secure all of those kills and continue to give Shenandoah that momentum. As we now move to Robot Ninja, he has this crash out ready.
Yeah, 3 ults there for SU, but 5 ults there for ISU. They got to make something happen now. I think if I read that time correctly, they got to get it done quickly. Armed and Dangerous getting popped there, and it's going to get one at least there. Everyone going down. ZZZ Market going to take out an SU player, and right now ISU trying to stay alive. Shenandoah trying to clear up the slackers over there, just kind of going off the side of the map right now. This stalemate is going on for as long as Shenandoah wants it to.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing a really good job holding them, staggering their ult usage to then make sure that they're not able to go through anything. We see that Diamond, is that a Diamond Lotus on Cloak and Dagger coming in, switch out. We see, Kangaroo Feet taking out while ulting as Punisher. You hate this.
See it right now as Robot Ninja trying to lay down some damage, trying to keep ISU away from them, trying to slow down that payload, but they're going to get some more progress here coming up shortly. Right now, we see a Thor coming in, doing some damage right there. A little bit of chaos there. Robot Ninja going to get a kill out of that. Diamond Lotus also going to take down Brujos. Both teams trade out a few players. Kangaroo Feet going down too. Another player for Shenandoah going down. ISU looking to take control of the momentum here, looking to push that payload even further. The last player for Shenandoah trying to make a stand, and unfortunately they fall as ISU looking to take this payload even further.
Yeah, Shenandoah not able to hold that stalemate. Now they're having to fight through the second segment of this convoy. I wonder what could be possibly going through their heads. You know, when you're up 3, the best thing you could possibly do is to hold them at a full hold. But now ISU has some of this, you know, like morale. Like, okay, yeah, we pushed to this first point. How do we get further? But Isaiah going back with the ultimate, not able to get the pick until he dies.
Yeah, Robot Ninja going to fall, but gets a kill at least early on there. Kangaroo Feet going to get one. Brujos is going to get one. And now the payload being pushed back here for Shenandoah, who is also just pushing ISU back in general. Kangaroo Feet getting another. Doughboy also getting a kill right there. Jeff the Land Shark looking to get some damage here in this map number 3.
I mean, yeah. Doughboy on this Jeff. I've heard a lot of work coming into this Jeff, and finally able to kind of see it, especially in a more competitive format, has been very interesting, trying to get these very, very specific ultimate kills, as Jeff usually does. But Shenandoah puts in the back corner, Jeff going in, ult, and try to stop everything that's going on.
Jeff finds 2 enemies and is just going to take them to a corner of the map somewhere and say, bye-bye, I'm going to deal with you here for now. Good luck trying to get back over to the fight. We're going to get Groot Wall right there. Now you're trapped. How do you get out? You're trapped in the corner. The geometry not letting you get out of there. Looking for some help. Captain America going to help Doughboy get out of there.
Doughboy really, really fighting for her life, as that could have been terrible. We see Jeff usually able to go up on walls, but for some reason Doughboy was just stuck between a rock and a hard place, or a tree in a hard place, and Groot's back.
Yeah, and Captain America looking to get their support back so they can win this fight. But right now, ISU is going to take the lead here in terms of kills. They are going to take out 2 SU players. Brujos fighting for their life, trying to stay up as an ult gets popped from both him and Gwenson, but they don't get much out of it. In Wanity going to take out Spookposito for the time being. 2 ults still left on the side of Shenandoah, but ISU about to get one of their own.
Yeah, so now ISU has just about a minute and 40 seconds, getting close to that now, to push towards Shenandoah and try to push them in to an overtime or draw situation. And it is just starting to get more and more scrappy. You see that Kangaroo Feet and Robot Ninja both had ultimates up, but Robot Ninja unfortunately gets caught out of position and taken out by the other team.
Yeah, and right now ISU gaining ground here, pushing Shenandoah onto their back foot. Right now struggling to keep any sort of momentum on their side. Groot Wall is going to push them back even further and further. ISU rolling up on their side of the map. It's getting close right here. Right now, as we see Thor putting in some damage, Kangaroo Feet going to take out Mr. Tony. A couple ults here for Shenandoah being popped, and that's going to do some work here as they now start pushing ISU back. Diamond Lewis going to go down. Recovery 1 going to go down. Spookposito helping out their team. Gwenson going to go down, but Kangaroo Feet gets a trade onto Inwanity. Right now, ISU on their back foot. 1 character remaining there, and now they're going to have to fight back. 40 seconds remaining to get back to this payload.
Yeah, and this next fight is bound to be extremely difficult. As we see, both teams are starting to build towards ultimates, but ISU is a lot closer to having 4 ults up than Shenandoah is, with the Magneto ult only being at about 89%. Yeah, ISU can stage a comeback with 4 ults at once, absolutely overwhelm Shenandoah.
Yeah, the first 2 getting popped in the first 3, first 4. Right now, ISU using all of their armor artillery here on SU. Diamond Lotus getting killed right there, I think, or something like that. And Recovery 1 going to take out Robot Ninja, and Wanted going to take out Spookposito. This is looking dire for Shenandoah right now. Final stand here, overtime. They're trying to keep ISU away from their base. Gonna have to back up, wait for help. Hulk comes flying in here. They're gonna wait to try to make this final stand here right in front of the point. ISU coming up quick. This is going to be a tough stand here for Shenandoah.
Yeah, this is a really difficult situation as we see Shenandoah still not too close to having any ultimates that can go into this fight. Either team actually not really close to getting an ult. This fight is going to be purely mind over matter, how you plan with your team, and essentially who can pull out the win or build towards that ultimate first. And we see Kangaroo Feet with this Punisher ultimate trying to secure any kills, but as of right now, just not able to get any.
Yeah, right now, no, only one ult there, and it's on the side of ISU. They're going to pop it, look for some damage. Kangaroo Feet going to take out ZZZ Market. So it's going to be a player numbers advantage here for Shenandoah as Spookmosito pops their ult. Hulk going in for the kill, gets their ult too. Gonna pop that one. Shenandoah trying to make this final stand. A huge ult there from the side of ISU, looking to stop this onslaught of attacks here from Shenandoah, but recovery one going to go down. Another player from ISU just barely going to get ended right there. Now getting back onto the point, but Brojo is going to get a kill right there. Clears out Diamond Lotus. Gets another one. Spookmosito going to take down another ISU player. ZZ Market going down as well. And that will spell the end for ISU's comeback here in map number 3.
Yeah, ISU fought really hard to push toward overtime, but eventually as the overtime timer keeps going down, there's not much you can do. Sure, you can sit there and try to stand on point, but once that timer hits 0, the round is lost.
Yeah, and the round was lost there by ISU. Shenandoah making a final stand count here as they take map number 3, go up 2-1 here in this best of 5, and we take a look at the replay.
Yeah, and as we see, Doughboy with this Jeff ult trying to catch a kill, possibly able to get one with the ultimate, throwing them off into the abyss, stopping that team from having that player out.
Yeah, right now, right there, we see an Armed and Dangerous doing some damage. We saw it again right there. That's what you were waiting for, wasn't it?
I've been waiting for Robot Ninja to drop as many Bucky ults as he could possibly send out right in the moment.
Yeah, and as we see there, the really funny moment with Jeff, that 1v1 we saw in the first round, just making the other player on ISU just obsolete, trying to keep him away from the fight as long as they could.
Yeah, and I mean, just this ultimate from Kangaroo Feet, using that Punisher ult to rip through anybody left and bring the payload to then take that game. And as I said before, unfortunately, you see Jeff the Landshark get shot in the end and die.
Yeah, unfortunate for Jeff the Landshark. Got their get back at some point, I believe. And eventually, you know, funny moments there in the walls against the Brute, but able to get saved by Captain America. And we just see here huge stalls early on in this second round from Shenandoah's defense, making it really hard for ISU to start. Eventually they did get through the defense, but it did take a little while.
Yeah, I mean, Shenandoah really having some pretty strong defense, even when they started pushing through. As we can see, I feel like going through the team's mind is that they just needed to group up and work together. You know, staggered deaths, especially in a very tense situation like that, is not what you want. You kind of want your team working as closely as one unit, one character as you can.
Yeah, what do you think ended up making the difference later in this round?
I would say the waiting of... Now, I said before, you don't want to hold ults the whole game, but I would say Shenandoah did a good job of...
timing their ults, maybe you could say.
Because you don't want to fully, like, yeah, you can dump 6 ults and then wipe the team, but then you can get into a really bad spot the next team fights where you don't have a support ult that keeps the whole team alive for 10 seconds, or you don't have a duelist ult that can rip through the rest of the team. And especially when they got to the end right there, you saw ISU drop essentially all 4 ults at the same time, and Shenandoah being able to make it past that and using their ults in succession, not all at once, to kind of mess with ISU.
Yeah, and we take a look here at Jeff getting walled off by the Groot, not finding their way out until Captain America came to the rescue like a real hero, able to get their support back to the fight where they are needed. And if we go ahead and look at the last few plays at the save that Shenandoah made, the final stand that I had talked about. Great plays here on the side of Shenandoah. And at first, yeah, it looked like the final fight was just going to be throwing hands.
Yeah.
Like, kind of like in JJK, whenever they lose, they use their domain expansion, and they have no clear strategy left, and they just got to throw hands afterwards, see who wins. And it ended up, the war of attrition here ended up going in the favor of Shenandoah as they take map number 3, 3-2-2, and we take a look at the stats.
Yeah, I mean, just even taking a quick little look at it, we see Broad Joe's on that Captain America going in with 21 final hits.
At 21 final hits from Captain America. That great plays there. And you mentioned before the map even started, you wanted to see Robot Ninja play well here, be the difference maker for Shenandoah, and they were 18 final hits, 4.4 KDA.
Yeah, I mean, they've really came out to play this round. As they went 3-2, yeah, but Shenandoah said, all right, I'm not going to let you take the point all the way there. I'm going to stop you right here. And as we see, just from the final hits from a lot of the team, almost a lot of Shenandoah's team members getting a bit close to having above 10 final hits, with the exception of Doughboy, Supercedo, and Gwenson. But even then, we saw amazing gameplay from them. I can only sit and think of Doughboy kind of getting caught on that wall. And it reminds me of what Mr. Incredible said to, I don't even remember his name, but when they were in the car, and it was like, no, go home, kid, I work alone.
Yeah.
Captain America ran in and said, leave the saving for the heroes.
Yeah.
And Doughboy, all they could do is run in the very end.
You want to mention the healing on this side of Shenandoah, I guess, and ISU. And I guess it's by nature of game mode. You can tell me if I'm wrong about that. The healing here, 38,000 from Doughboy, 41,000 of Spookposito, and then around the same for both of the supports on the side of ISU. Not just normal for the game mode.
That's just normal for if a game goes long.
Yeah,
A lot of healers, a lot of the supports heal faster than others. So Jeff, having big healing numbers on Jeff is also a pretty good thing, because a lot of people don't like Jeff because they see the fact that, he doesn't have a lot of healing output. A lot of the people will be like, can you switch off of Jeff, please? Like, you're throwing by choosing this character. But Doughboy is a very spiteful player and said, I'm going to play this Jeff. I'm going to heal more than you, and that's how that's going to go. And as we saw, getting a lot of healing on that Jeff from Doughboy.
Yeah, I do want to mention, though, we cannot forget the map that came up here for map number 4.
So we are going to Brendan T'Challa. So it is another domination map.
Okay.
The very interesting about this map is that the center of where the domination is at is it has 2 giant walls, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
2 very, very big walls that you can get caught running around and get picked up from the team. And it also has a circle for the point, and there's a hole in the middle that if you fall down that hole, you technically are not counted to being in the point anymore, and a game could be lost by simply dropping down there on accident. And if you don't have any movement, you can't get out.
You're stuck.
Well, you're not like stuck. There's other ways to go, but would you rather stay there or take this long walk, have everyone fight, or use everyone to get out of it?
Yeah, and right now we're going to get right into the hero ban and protects right now. Also, Bloodstone getting banned from ISU, Moon Knight getting protected, and I think, oh man, is that what I think it is?
That's a Jeff ban.
That is a Jeff ban. Oh man, that's rough. I was enjoying some Jeff gameplay. On the side of Shenandoah, we are going to see a Venom ban. Who would have thought? Captain America protect. Groot getting banned, which I think is actually a good option. That Groot has been proving troublesome there for Shenandoah. And then an invisible woman hero protect.
Yeah, I mean, the Jeff ban, especially on this map, is kind of a worthwhile choice because of the fact that there is a large pit, and what Jeff does best with the ultimate is send them off the edge, and if angled correctly, easily get a 6K and put Ace right on the support.
And right now, the last hero ban's coming in. Uh-oh. Spider-Man, you're gone. And waiting for a leader ban, getting a little bit away here. Spider-Man getting banned. Gambit getting protected there from ISU, so you might see some Gambit gameplay here. And Star-Lord going to get banned as SU's final ban here as we get the heroes selected. Doughboy on Invisible Woman, Ultra Lee on Black Panther, Bruh Joe's on Squirrel. I got juked. Bruh Joe's back on Captain America. And Doughboy having trouble selecting who they want to play.
So what Doughboy did is something we on the people who founded the Rivals team way back when is using the Lord Aura. So as we saw, Bruh Joe's went to go and pick that Squirrel Girl for a few seconds, and Doughboy, having a Lord Squirrel Girl, hovered over to remind Bruh Joe's who did it first.
A little bit of psychological, psychological strategy there. coming from Shenandoah players out of their own teammates for some reason. But let's go back to mentioning, Invisible Woman, Black Panther, Captain America, Spookposito on the Gambit, Robot Ninja on the Moon Knight, and Gwenson on the Hulk. Thank you, Observer. You're doing a great job over there, keeping up with my comms, doing great over there as we wait for this map number 4 to start.
Yeah, I mean, running this team comp, at first, I kind of thought they were going to do triple duelists, 2 strategists, and 1 tank. But it's kind of known in a lot of games, especially with tanks, that solo tanking is essentially the bane of everybody's existence, and a lot of people would rather uninstall the game than solo tank.
We see Rojos and Ultra Lee just kind of biding their time here, looking for positioning. And Spookposito going to get some early damage. Moon Knight, Robot Ninja going in, trying to cause some trouble here for that Magneto. Hulk going to do the same. Going for the backline here. I'm going after your Hulk, looking for some damage. You better run away now as Shenandoah gets the early capture point percentage.
Yeah, I mean, we see, once again, putting some of our support players back on their best characters. Rose on this Invisible Woman, Casito on this Gambit, trying to see, once again, if they can just run them over and say, hey, I'm playing a good character, then I know how to play well, so there's absolutely no way you can beat me right now. We see Ultra Lee trying to find this correct angle to get a pick on this Black Panther, going in with the dashes, not able to hit anyone with the dash, fortunately taking away his movement.
Yeah, Spookposito and Robot Ninja both going down for Shenandoah. This is looking rough here in this first defense of the point. They are sitting at 36%, but they're going to have to buy time for the rest of their teammates to get back towards the fight. Now Ultra Lee looking to single out a player on the side of ISU who gets back to their team. Now a fight on the point is going to occur, but Shenandoah opts back out of it and just looks to try and regroup here as ISU now up to 9%, 10% here on the capture.
Yeah, Shenandoah once again pushed back, even though they were able to put some progress on the point. Not really being able to find a way to get any kills on the point and allow for this to come back. Ultra Lee coming in on the combo character that he loves playing. If there's one thing about Ultra Lee is that if the character has a very complex combo, he's going to sit there and he's going to learn it.
And Hulk right now just picking his rights, looking for some damage as 4 players from ISU go down. That's going to bode well for Shenandoah as they now start increasing their percentage up from 45%, now 50 and onwards. They are looking to strategize, trying to wait, see what ISU is going to opt to do here on this next retake attempt.
Yeah, and as we see Spookposito with this Gambit, having the ultimate ready, kind of just walking around once again trying to aura farm right now and see when is the best time to drop this ultimate. Their enemy team's Gambit dropping it, and Spookposito going in and saying, I'm going to ult back, but not able to save any of his teammates as that Gambit nerf unfortunately took away the instant healing you get from his ultimate, which doesn't mean you can just pop it to save everyone.
Yeah, right now Hulk going in, getting that damage. However, they are on their back foot right now. Brojo's looking to use that ult, get some stuff out of that one. Now Invisible Woman on the side of ISU going to pop their ult as well, which is going to stall out this fight just a bit longer. Going to do it, looking to contest as much as they can here as ISU is almost towards 60% on this capture point. Ultra Lee unfortunately going down. Mr. Tony taking that kill, and Shenandoah looking to regroup right now. ISU getting towards the tie here.
Yeah, and ISU currently has 3 ultimate up. Shenandoah only having 2 right now, having a support ode and a Moon Knight ode ready to go at any possible time. I'm thinking Doughboy's gonna wait. Oh, I'm gonna stop talking. Doughboy going right in, ulting, but gets hit by the Magneto ult and losing that entire invisible boundary. The team now having to fight on point to try and survive. Spookposito going down from the blade. This is not looking all too well for Shenandoah. We see Ultra Lee going in, taking in a quick double kill.
Yeah, and the rest of ISU falling as well. That's going to help Shenandoah here as they go on their conquest to win this first round. Right now, sitting at 90%. ISU has 3 ults. They are not very close to getting two ults, excuse me, not very close to getting their third. However, SU has none. They are close to getting one, but they're going to have to slow ISU down as they are now in overtime. ISU has to take this point if they're looking to get back in this round. They have to step onto it. And Ultra Lee trying to push them off. Hulk also trying to push them off. Right now, Combo's going to help X-Ball. Falls to Brujos. Right now, still overtime. ISU needs to get back on, stay on. Abilities being used absolutely everywhere. Ults coming through. There is an ult on the side of ISU from Diamond if they want to use it, but not able to get close as ISU loses the first round here, map number 4.
Yeah, in the very end there, we see as Shenandoah just does a real good job of coming back in, fighting, and keeping the point. Though, the unfortunate thing, we are on domination. The thing about this is that you keep your ultimate charge, move in to the second stage of domination. Supacito, unfortunately, popping that Gambit ult right in the last second. Shenandoah will now only really go into the next fight with maybe a Hulk ult if it gets built fast enough. It is at 91, so it will be. But we are now down a support ult right at the start, which could bode unwell for Shenandoah depending on how the first skirmish goes.
Yeah, and fortunately for them, I will say ISU only has one ult, and they aren't close to... I will say X-Ball sitting at 82%, getting kind of close to that ult, but Shenandoah decently close themselves to getting one. They should have at least one going into that, so they'll be around even in terms of ults available to them. As we head into this second round here, next mission area unlocks in 23%. In 23 seconds. What am I saying? As we get into this fight real early on here, Hulk already on the point, looking to slow ISU down, opting to jump up to the second floor here.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the times you'll see, especially on this map, when both the teams walk out, they're right in their faces. So a lot of the time, neither of them care about going to point. They go instantly into fighting each other. Things happen. We get a Gambit ult from X-Ball, trying to get them essentially some leverage in this very first fight. Poor Robot Ninja here, absolutely fighting for his life, but is unfortunately taken out with all of the team. ISU now having a huge momentum shift as Shenandoah now has to make the trek all the way back out to point together to take it.
ISU now in control of this second round here. I will say Shenandoah has 4 ults. ISU getting close to a couple of their own, so they'll be able to combat at least a little bit of that Shenandoah attack here as we get close to an ensuing fight. Right now, the Hornets just looking to get back there, looking for height here on this attack as multiple players dive in. Gwenson gonna pop their ult. Brojos pops the cap ult. Now looking for some damage. They get onto the point right now. A couple players get traded on either squad. SU still has the numbers, and ISU gonna fall, and another kill there from Gwenson is going to help Shenandoah cap that. I was having some trouble there following that. Marvel Rivals gets pretty chaotic.
Yeah, I mean, we saw there that Iron Man being able to use that ultimate essentially point blank at the ground directly at Shenandoah's supports and taking them out. But Shenandoah being able to fight through, seeing that a lot of them were low, not running away, not backing down and losing their healers, and taking all of those kills and catching the point and finally getting some progress on it.
Yeah, Ultra Lee looking to get the drop on a couple of those ISU players, flanking right there, and is going to pop their ability. 2 ults available on either team right now as Ultra Lee unfortunately goes down. Bad decision there to try and flank. Now, unfortunately, the moon is going to haunt Shenandoah as ISU gets 3 kills, and Robot Ninja is going to have to back up as ISU raises their capture percentage up towards 60%.
Yeah, that Moon Knight easily taking out Doughboy and finishing off Brujos. Once again, having to walk out from the spawn room. You see Robot Ninja with ultimate, trying to figure out the best places for it as this Moon Knight includes a Brujos. Shenandoah now with 3 ultimates, both teams having 3 ultimates. I wonder who's going to use them first, but Fugasino coming out with that Gamma ult, trying to make the initial push happen.
Yeah, Shenandoah going to take the first step here in this fight, but a Magneto ult is going to come out as well. Gets a kill onto Doughboy. Fupacito also falls. Recovery 1 gets a double kill. X-Ball takes another one of Shenandoah. Recovery 1 going crazy right now. Going to clear out the rest of the Shenandoah squad as ISU looks like they're just going to take round number 2 here. I don't think Shenandoah will be able to get back to this control point, and they don't. ISU ties up map number 4 here at 1 apiece.
Yeah, and now we move in to the final objective, the Imperial Institute of Science. So this is the part. This is the final one to see, you know.
Yeah, ISU trying to get this to map number 5. They are down here 2-1 in terms of series score, and you lose this map, you are done for. Your season is unfortunately going to be over right there. So they're fighting for their tournament lives right now here in this first round of NECC Division VI Playoffs, as I believe Joe's opting to switch from Cap on over to Hella. Is that like a meta shifting? Is that a strategy shifting? Is that like a area switch thing since we're now in the Institute of Technology?
So this is a counter pick. So since Iron Man is a flying unit and Hella is hit scan,
I didn't notice that change. Yep.
It's a lot easier. But we do see Shenandoah with a lot of change, a lot of flip-flops happening. Joe's hopping off that Cap. Ultra Elite coming in on Penny Parker. Gwenson switching from Hulk into the Doctor Strange. Let's see if these changes can help Shenandoah out in this final round on this game.
Yeah, opting to kind of pick here, trying to take this series here. And now Gambit looking to heal their teammates as tried to get into this first fight here on the control point. There's the hole you guys were talking about earlier. Don't want to fall down in there as recovery 1 takes 2. Fupacito and Doughboy off the map for now. Shenandoah going to have to retreat, and Doctor Strange unfortunately going to get tracked down, as well as Hella. Unfortunately, ISU going to take early control here of the point.
Yeah, Shenandoah, once again, that Iron Man is just really honed in to ulting the supports, you know, making sure that nobody can get any sort of healing in, and that is what easily causes Shenandoah to get pushed back. Is once they lose their support, just like other people, it's hard to fight, and we see them get pushed back by that. The Iron Man really just strutting his stuff all over Shenandoah right now.
Yeah, Iron Man proving detrimental here towards Shenandoah's strategy, as another 3 down there for Shenandoah. They have not been able to get any momentum here in this 3rd round. Joe's is going to find one, but gets traded out by Mr. Tony. Robot Ninja in a 1v1 with Mr. Tony 21 on the outside of the map as they use their water bubble to just get out of there, trying to regroup, but getting chased down still.
Yeah, as we see Shenandoah right now, one of the things I had noticed is they had gotten a kill on Iron Man. No matter what happens, they can go and tell their coach, Chase Newcomb, that, hey, Chase, we killed that Iron Man. There is a point in time to where they could not get an Iron Man out of the sky. They are coming back with the vengeance against the Iron Man. We see Ultra Elite switch to my personal favorite character in Marvel Rivals, Magic.
Yeah, looking to try something different, because right now ISU is at 70%. It's a tough comeback to make here. You only have one ult for the time being, and there is a Magneto ult waiting for you on the other team. A little bit of a scary moment here. Eye of Agamotto being popped. They are going to get 2 off of that ult usage. Mr. Tony is going to take 1 though. Doughboy also falls. So still pretty even here in terms of numbers until Ultra Lee takes down Fawny. Now Shenandoah in control of the point, looking to start gaining some percentage here. I think someone may have fallen in the hole, but I can't tell.
It was Ultra Lee. But
Yep.
that's okay. He found his way back out and is here to fight this Phoenix to see if this point can be taken. Poor Shenandoah getting low, once again falling down in the pit. The Phoenix running right after him is a very close, but Ultra Lee goes down. A single quick melee from that Phoenix.
Yeah, that Phoenix is going to slow down the capture from Shenandoah, able to find some time there for their ISU squad as they now pop an ult themselves. Inwanity going to take out Spoopacito and Robot Ninja. Fawny going to take out Gwenson, and it's tough looks here for the Shenandoah squad. Rojo is going to use their ult. They get a kill out of it. This is still a tough retake here. You have 3 players on the point looking to get control of it here in overtime.
Yeah, we got multiple players on the point. Portals being opened up by both Strangers, fighting to make sure that their team can come in to fight. Rud Joes once again getting another kill with that Infamous Magneto combo. Can Shenandoah take this from the jaws of defeat?
Yeah, right now Gwenson gonna get a kill. Doughboy, however, falls. Brojos and Robot Ninja following shortly after. It's looking tough here. A Spook Pasito trying to stay alive, trying to kill time for the team to get back along with Brinson. Brinson, Ultra Lee trying to defend this last couple seconds here from ISU. Overtime still happening. Another 2 fall from Shenandoah. Their last line of defense not able to kill time, and they fall here in round number 3. ISU ties the series up here at 2.
Yeah, now this last game is for all the marbles. Who is moving on in playoffs and who is getting sent home for the rest of the semester?
Yeah, unfortunately, Shenandoah, I don't know. I think it was just they had to switch. They switched up a lot of their hero choices. We saw a lot of changes throughout that last round. And do you think maybe that just kept the momentum from increasing, or was it just a well thought out and executed strategy there from the side of ISU?
Sometimes, you know, switching to counter the other team is worthwhile and you get a lot of value out of it, but the thing is, sometimes in the time it takes for you to counter one character, the team, you kind of go back and forth, and every death they switch out, and essentially they are fighting back and forth to try and make sure that you can never get the correct counter pick on them.
Yeah, and I mean, the first 2 rounds pretty close there from both teams. That third round just a sweep there from ISU as we look at these plays. Early on, Hulk putting in a lot of damage. Deadpool working out there for Shenandoah. But unfortunately, ISU just kept control of that point the entire third.
Yeah, ISU really coming out and essentially swinging, you know, getting that underdog boost. Hey, I don't want to go down like this. I don't want to lose. I'm going to go in and try to take this round for my school. And they were able to do that. Now moving in to some of the statistics from this previous match.
Yeah, as you see, Moon Knight, Robot Ninja, 5 final hits, 1.8 KDA. Ultra Lead, 9 final hits, 2.2 KDA. Doughboy, 2 final hits, 0.9 KDA. Gwenson, 11 final hits, 2.4 KDA. Spook Pasito, 6 final hits, 1.5. Brujos, 11 with a 3.
Yeah, I mean, overall, this was just a hard game for Shenandoah to fight. Going in and essentially getting 100 0'd in the last match can only essentially make Shenandoah mad. You know, they might come out of the woodwork just absolutely swinging. You know, if I were to lose like that, I would be angry. Like, I wouldn't be able to take it. So maybe Shenandoah might be going into that, or maybe they're having team talk, getting a level head, and trying to take them out and win for SU tonight.
Well, I mean, if the rivals team hears you, you know, maybe they'll take that into account going into the last map. I'm just joking. We're the Buzzdown. You know we're a recap show. We go into this 5th map here. This decider map. This is going to be... I'm going to let you pronounce that. Okay.
Kunlun.
Okay. That's good. I honestly, I could have had 5 tries at that. Would not have said it like that. Never have said it like that.
Yeah. This is another map that had released with Daredevil and Angela.
Daredevil.
And so I'm really interested to see, you know, what bands we're going to see. I assume, once again, as we see, a Venom band. So I'm expecting another Elsa
Taxes
band.
and Venom band, Death Taxes and Elsa band. Yeah. Now, this is where it gets a little bit spicy. You get a little bit of a change up here. And ISU opting to protect the Gambit here off rip. Now it's Shenandoah's turn, looking to also protect one of their own, as they are going to keep Captain America. And honestly, I like that. Captain America has been playing really well here for Shenandoah, helping out in their strategy a lot here. Waiting for another band. Groot, another great band. I like that one as well. Groot caused trouble for them a lot in those first few maps.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see what's kind of going through the minds. We're seeing a lot of the same people be protected, a lot of the same people being banned. I guess it's really happening to make sure they do not deal with the specifics of other people. We see, unfortunately, another Jeff ban, as Jeff is kept in Marvel Rivals ban jail. I can only assume Doughboy just cannot stand seeing Jeff get banned for another time.
Yeah, unfortunately, Jeff the Land Shark is in jail. I believe the IRS contacted him a little while ago, got in trouble for some tax issues. Unfortunately, we're not going to see him the rest of this series as Magneto gets protected by ISU and SU is looking to protect their next hero. Honestly, who do you think it could be?
They might be calling in for protection over Bucky. Invisible Woman, actually.
Invisible Woman, okay. I think ISU did ban Invisible Woman the first map, so I guess there was, a little bit of fear that they could ban Invisible Woman with their last ban. So protecting Invisible Woman there to make sure that they are good, and then proceeding to ban Star-Lord with their last ban.
Yeah, like I was saying earlier, a lot of these bans coming in being a ton of the same choices as they did in the past, kind of doing what's right, doing what's comfortable. And we see a Hulk ban from ISU absolutely shutting what Gwent has been going down the entire time.
Yeah, honestly, although I'm rooting for Shenandoah, of course, I think that's a really smart ban from the side of ISU. Hulk putting in a lot of work the past few maps of pushing ISU back in scenarios where the numbers were kind of even, and then out of nowhere Hulk's jumping at them and they have to fall back. They maybe lose one of their players at respawn room, and so good ban there, I think, from the side of ISU as we look to start this last map here. Do or die for both teams here in round number 1 of the NECC Division VI Playoffs. What do you think about these characters that have been selected?
So, like I had said before,
yeah,
for Shenandoah, they're essentially all going mains right now.
Yeah.
Robot Ninja back on that Bucky. Bro Joe's back on that Captain America. Gwenson on Angela, the tank that they were absolutely infatuated with, back to the character that they are best at. We have Doughboy out on this Gambit. Also, Kangaroo Feet on one of his best characters, Psylocke, and then Supercedo on this Rocket. Shenandoah is coming out to play. They said, I'm picking my Lord level. I'm going to beat you.
Yeah, and I see a Psylocke, like you just mentioned here. I play Psylocke. When I do play Marvel Rivals, I play Psylocke, so I love to see that right now. An early fight here happening as actually ISU just opting to slow down and stay back. Actually, I don't know. Do they have a little round? Okay, no, we're just taking a little bit of time. Now we're going to engage into a fight. I was getting a little confused there for a second. SU player already needs to be healed, backing up there as we see Rocket Raccoon looking to lay down some damage there onto the ISU players. And one of them getting pretty close to death, but going to escape just barely. Now you need to heal one of your own players. This is a bit of a stalemate off the start.
Yeah, no one's really getting too many good kills off. No one's really dying. Shenandoah able to secure from Gwenson a kill on recovery 1 on that Phoenix. Kangaroo Feet going in, trying to combo that Penny over and over again until she dies. Robot Ninja getting a kill on Infinity. They are just going back and forth. But it's seeming like SU is having the upper hand in this team fight.
Yeah, right now SU getting a couple early kills there as Fonny and Mr. Tony are going to fall for ISU. And another player, Robot Ninja, gets another. Diamond Lotus going to fall. Looks to be like an early capture here for Shenandoah as long as they clean up the rest of these ISU players. But they're getting back towards the point pretty quickly. They are delaying this capture as much as they can. Now we're back at an even fight.
Yeah, I mean, we watched ISU came in already using that Strange Portal early on in the match, trying to make sure they stop Shenandoah from catching that point. And as of right now, still at the standpoint, but Diamond Lotus going on, trying to hold for ISU, but it just isn't enough as Shenandoah goes in and captures the convergence point and is able to start pushing the payload.
Yeah, a wonderful fight there from Shenandoah, able to finally clean up. We're looking to play. This is kind of a devious spot. This is kind of crazy. Just sitting above that. It looks like a few plays I've seen from a lot of old Overwatch clips here as we head into this next fight after Shenandoah does clear those convergence points. And now we see another fight start. Another fight occurring right now. A little bit of damage going out for either team.
Yeah, and we're watching Gwenson really kind of looking where to use that ultimate to pull the team, going in, an Invisible Woman coming in to stop them. Everyone is ripping ults right now, Supercedo's coming up. ISU going straight in. There is like I keep saying, there's so many ultimates already on screen. They're just absolutely duking it out to see who can get all of those kills first.
Yeah, Spook is still going to help out Robot Ninja right there, but they have to back up for now. ISU now on the payload. Kangaroo Feet biding their time, waiting for a moment to strike, an opportunity to strike, as Shenandoah just kind of waiting around for the rest of their team, but Brenson gonna opt to try to lay down some damage, get some damage there onto ISU. Now fly around, gets a kill there on the recovery one, looking for another one here as the rest of the SU team in the fight now. Mr. Tony going to go down, and also Kangaroo Feet getting X-Ball. Inwanity gonna go down due to Robot Ninja's damage. Kangaroo Feet getting another one. Gwenson cleaning up Diamond Lotus. Now Shenandoah back on the payload.
Yeah, Shenandoah came in and essentially squatted up on all of them, you know, not taking too many of the fights one-on-one, going in with each other, taking them out and pushing the payload as they try to get past this first convergence point.
Yeah, and right now the Eye of Agamotto coming out. This is going to prove a little bit of trouble here for Shenandoah as Robot Ninja, Doughboy, Gwenson all go down here to start. ISU going to start pushing this back. Rocket Raccoon, Spook Pasito looking to stay alive as the rest of the SU team spawns in close to the payload. Now looking to go help the Rocket Raccoon on the left side on over here as some damage here over from the Bucky. Gonna help out, drags over an ISU player to get some extra damage on him, and Gwenson going to get Fawny. Diamond Lotus also falling to Robot Ninja. Robot Ninja getting two more. Mr. Tony X-Ball both down as Shenandoah looks to take the fight to ISU, looking to get to this first checkpoint here. They just got to clear out the rest of the ISU team, and they do. Inwanity falls to Joe's, and right now Shenandoah gets to that first checkpoint. They are pushing, they are making progress.
Yeah, Shenandoah once again going in, playing as a team, doing all of their target calls, I assume, making sure that they know who exactly they're looking for, who do they need to finish off that can keep mowing through the team. Right now, Shenandoah having almost 3 ultimate up, but they probably, unbeknownst to them, ISU having 4 ultimates ready.
Yeah, 4 ultimates ready, and we see Bucky take his ult out, looking for some kills, but gonna be a little bit of trouble here when an ult is available for Magneto if they opt to use it. Diamond Lotus going to take Robot Ninja, but a few players there from ISU going down, and Brajo's going to clear out the rest of them. Psylocke ult going to help out right there. They take out Inwanity with that Psylocke ult, now making even more progress, getting closer to their target destination.
Yeah, Shenandoah really coming out scrapping every single fight. They're just running at the team, calling each other, calling the shots, making sure they know, look at this person right now. And that's how they secured a lot of their kills, is bringing in people to help finish things off. Magneto on the enemy team, Mr. 2021 coming with the ultimate, not being able to quite finish anyone else. Diamond Lotus bouncing around as Mr. Fantastic doing whatever they can still to stop Shenandoah from getting a full push down.
Yeah, it's going to be tough when Captain America is running you down, getting damage. However, they are going to push Shenandoah back for the time being. They're going to look to regroup, wait for the rest of their squad to come back from the respawn room. And right now, just getting some poke damage here, keeping ISU from getting any more. But Captain America going to pop their ult. Now it's time to move. It's time to take action. And Eye of Agamotto also coming out, but for ISU. And Recovery 1 going to go down. Gwenson gets the kill right there. Captain America still putting in ult work right there. And going to get some more damage, help out the rest of their team. Gwenson gets Inwanity, who goes down. Robot Ninja looking to put down some damage, gets Mr. Tony. Fawny goes down to Brajo's, and Robot Ninja gets another one. Diamond Lotus now falls, and it looks like Shenandoah might have an uncontested final push right here. A couple players from ISU going to get there pretty early as we see the thing come out, but also fall very quickly. And Inwanity goes down. Shenandoah has the numbers. Robot Ninja putting in the work, trying to get damage here, and takes out, as a team, they take out Mr. Tony. Brajo's going to take out X-Ball as Shenandoah looking to get the payload, deliver the payload here. A couple ults come out from Shenandoah right now. Couple kills, Spookposito, Gwenson, and Robot Ninja going to finish off the ISU team here in round number 1.
Yeah, I mean, that last fight,
Oh my God.
There was a lot going on, and
I was trying to keep up.
You were real patched into it.
I'm gonna need a drink after that.
I sat and I watched, and Shenandoah really fought against them, as we can kind of see already, though. ISU going for that triple support, which is heavily looked down upon by a lot of the rivals community, going for it to try and secure that win and stop Shenandoah in their tracks, but they just weren't able to do it, as Shenandoah was essentially like a truck and then absolutely ran them over, bulldozed over ISU, regardless of having that extra healing output from triple support.
Captain America and Bucky there working in tandem to help lead the SU team to a capture there, getting their payload all the way to where they wanted it to go. Now 30 seconds remaining until that attack, and Kangaroo Feet on Blade, which I don't think we've seen yet.
We have actually not seen Kangaroo Feet out on this Blade, but I'm actually pretty excited to see what Kangaroo Feet has been working on, as Blade has been coming into a lot of new buffs, actually.
Interesting.
And getting buffs to his, I think, to his lifesteal and just overall combat capabilities to allow for him to fight better and also kind of damage the other team's healer, as he's one of the few characters who have some anti-heal in his kit.
As we see Kangaroo Feet going to make first contact with ISU as they look to take the fight to Shenandoah and try to do even better. But Kangaroo Feet getting a quick kill right there. Dino Lotus goes down for ISU, and another player on the side of ISU gets singled out. Mr. Tony also going down, and this attack getting stalled incredibly quickly here. Recovery 1 also goes down. Robot Ninja making sure of that, and also looking for another kill right here. Finds it onto Fani, and they are pushing back the last ISU player, and Inwanity goes down to Robot Ninja's shots right there. Now stalling the first attack. ISU gonna have to rethink their strategy.
Yeah. Once again, Robot Ninja coming out with his Bucky and saying, I don't quite feel like losing right now, so I'm just going to take you all out. And as we saw, that triple kill just absolutely going through them, making sure they can work on anything. Though, the stagger, but ooh, bad for Robot Ninja. Recovery 1 coming out on that Hawkeye, being able to get an easy one hit with that arrow to the face on Robot Ninja.
Yeah, Diamond Lotus falling too, though, and right now some defense there from trying to get back, trying to get help from his tank, and right now Shenandoah stalling for the time being, waiting for their other player to come back, which I believe they are back now. An Invisible Woman looking to help out the fight right now. However, 2 players go down for ISU. Spookposito, Robot Ninja helping with that. Mr. Tony going to get a trade on the Spookposito. Kangaroo Feet going to take out Fani. And Wanity going to take out Brojo's Robot Ninja. There are trades happening everywhere. Robot Ninja gets 2, and they're going to stall another push there from ISU, who has not been able to find anything here in map number 5.
Yeah, Shenandoah just really holding it down on this point now, using correct uses of their ult. The Robot Ninja here holding on to this Bucky ultimate, waiting until that he can absolutely decimate the enemy team when they try to go and take this point from SU.
Yeah, something's going to have to change here, and the ultimate is going to come out armed and dangerous. Bucky is looking to stop this. Spookposito gets a kill. Robot Ninja finds one on Inwanity, and they still have 4 ults. Here comes again, once again, Bucky looking for some damage, but the health is going to prove troublesome right there. Not able to find anything out of that. But 3 ults still left on the side of ISU. However, there's a minute and 24 seconds remaining. They have to capture this point by the time that timer goes down. Doughboy going to pop their Gambit ult. And also Grenson and Brojo's ult all coming out here for the side of Shenandoah. Looking to stop ISU in their tracks, not let them gain any movement here on the map.
Yeah, Shenandoah, once again, using those ultimates in the right spot. We see Spookposito kind of running back, trying to make sure they get there with this Luna ult to keep Shenandoah in this advantageous state. 60 seconds left on the clock, and still ISU just has not been able to capture any time on this point.
Yeah, right now ISU has a chance. They have 45 seconds left. Their season relies on these last 45 seconds. this is it for ISU. If they cannot make anything happen, Shenandoah stalling them every single attack so far, and we are going into what possibly could be the last team fight. Right now, Magneto at the forefront here for the Hornets, looking to lay down the damage and assembling right now. Captain America, Mr. Tony going to pop their ult, and Wandity also popping their Emma Frost, looking to help out that ult usage, going to try and help ISU out in the air. A lot of damage, a lot of abilities being used. A couple players from the side of Shenandoah going down. This is looking good for ISU. 5 seconds remaining, and I think that is going to get the capture point here in overtime. Now Shenandoah can get back here, but I don't know if it's going to be worth it. They might just choose to regroup and wait this one out, decide that they should live to fight another day here, as ISU still going to have to make it to the objective if they want to tie this one up.
Yeah, ISU not out of the count yet. Shenandoah backing up to regroup, as you said, getting all of their things together. And ISU's not out of the game just yet. All they have to do is push it the whole way. They've got about 2 minutes to do so, and maybe Shenandoah does the same thing they did and tries to hold them for as long as they can, and maybe even push over to making sure that they don't even reach the first convergence point.
Yeah, Blade getting some poke damage now, using their ult, looking to get a kill right there. Recovery one down for ISU. They are down in numbers. Mr. Tony also goes down, and Shenandoah going to take advantage of these numbers and push ISU back towards their spawn. Another kill, though, for ISU is going to get close to evening up, but gets traded by Spook Facito. Now a stalemate there on the payload. Shenandoah opting to back up. They do have Gwenson there fighting in the back line, looking to cause chaos there for ISU.
Yeah, Shenandoah right now just currently building up ultimates, trying to find the best spot to where maybe they'll just ult dump and take the round.
Yeah, Doughboy going to ult right there. Shenandoah has 2 more ults if they want to pop them, and they will. They decide to pop them. 2 ults also being popped on the side of ISU. Every ult imaginable being used right here. Kangaroo Feet going to take one out. Glenson also takes one out before that. And Mr. Tony going to get a trade onto Kangaroo Feet, but Bonnie going to lose their life to Glenson, as Shenandoah looks like they might come out on top of this team fight.
Yeah. Robot Ninja and Supercito also have ults, even though Shenandoah went through and dropped all of those ults together. Robot Ninja saved that Bucky ult. Maybe, just maybe, we'll see it come out right at a crucial moment. Or Supercito's ult coming out to save the team. The ISU now having about 30 seconds left to put something together to get this push.
Yeah, 30 seconds remaining to get to that checkpoint right now. Ults being used here consecutively for the Hornets, as it's going to work wonders. They get 3 kills. Robot Ninja gets 2 of those. Right now, Magneto for ISU. Mr. Tony popping his, looking to even the odds right now. Gonna find Gwenson on the kill. Brajo's going to trade him out. Gets a second one right there. ISU, it's not looking good. They gotta get back. Right now, 3 seconds remaining, 2 seconds remaining, 1 second remaining, and they fail to get back to the payload. SU takes round number 2 there. They stop the payload, and they stop ISU from coming back to win map number 5. Shenandoah moving on to round number 2 of the NECC Division VI Playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, amazing play from Shenandoah. We saw a lot of these holds really keeping ISU away from the point, having them essentially have it be a life or death situation in the last minute of each round. Going into some of these replays, we see Robot Ninja was absolutely relentless, especially on Kunlun.
Yeah, Robot Ninja playing incredibly well. We'll take a look at some stats after these plays that'll show that, because, man, I'm looking at the stats right now. That's kind of insane. And Gwenson doing a great job there, just kind of causing havoc. I mean, when you got a character that can fly around everywhere, you can dip in and out of fights so quickly that it's just like 1 minute you're like, okay, there's no one around here, we're good to keep pushing. And then the next thing you know, someone comes flying in from out of nowhere, and you're like, oh shoot, we got to be careful, or our backline's getting messed up right here. Now it's just complete chaos. And that ended up working out in Shenandoah's favor. Yeah,
Shenandoah sending out some of their heaviest hitters on their favorite, most their favorite characters with the most time spent on them to just really lay down the law on ISU.
Yeah, and as we look at these replays, early on that Psylocke ult that helped finish, get that get the payload, push the payload a little bit further there as before their last team fight there in round number 1. And, you know, Shenandoah doing a great job. I think what really helped them in that first attack was just Captain America and Bucky, like, ironically enough, because, you know, Captain America, Bucky, very good friends. I just did the 6-7 motion. What is wrong with me? And we really good look at these replays. We see also Blade coming out, which I think also proved a factor in really good defense there from Shenandoah. Albeit towards the end of this first string of captures, ISU pulled out their own Captain America and used that ult, and I think that's what got them to the payload, but it just didn't prove enough there in the end.
Yeah, ISU will give them their kudos. Really fought hard against Shenandoah, but Shenandoah was just an unstoppable force and trying to keep them out. Both times when it mattered the most, able to hold them right behind and make sure that they could not take any points and generate anything to be able to move on in playoffs.
Yeah, and move on in playoffs. Shenandoah will. Fantastic plays there. It got close there. Did go the full 5 maps. And however, they get the job done. They ice up when it counts. They clutch up when it counts, and they take that last map. As we look at the last couple team fights here in these replays. And is there anything, any like decision making, any like character plays, any player just you want to shout out here that made the difference for Shenandoah?
I mean, it's pretty obvious to make a shout out to Robot Ninja. I mean, every time that Bucky came out, momentum shifted easily in Shenandoah's
He's flexing on the production cam back there. We can't give him a big head. We got to watch out. A little bit of an ego there on that guy. But you know what? Ego kind of justified, like you're saying. I don't want to cut you off. You can keep going.
I mean, that was essentially just it. Coming out and being able to just play the character you're the best at. And just by being on the field, being in the map is just enough. Going in to looking at some of the match stats.
There it is.
Once again, not to have Robot Ninja float away with his big head, getting 26 final hits and a 6.1 KDA.
Yeah, I mean, might be the highest we've seen all series. I think that was the highest we've seen all series in terms of final hits.
Yes.
Yeah, in terms of final hits, absolutely wonderful, wonderful game 5 there from Robot Ninja there for Shenandoah when it matters the most here as we take a look at the grand scheme of things here in this best of 5. Shenandoah winning map 1 2-0, losing map 2 0-1, going back and forth 3-2. Map 3 for Shenandoah, losing map 4 2-1, but finally taking map 5 there with some fantastic defense reminiscent of the 2000 Ravens, the 1985 Chicago Bears. Shout out football. Great defense there from the Hornets as we go ahead and take a look at the head-to-head stats from this series.
Yeah, so, I mean, looking right at the stats, the elimination disparity between Shenandoah and ISU.
Yeah, that's a disparity, all right. That's a disparity.
To 476. I mean, a lot of these numbers are just, in Shenandoah's favor, just not close to each other. I mean, even coming to this over 200 more assists on Shenandoah's side than ISU. All of these stats make such a difference, even down to the accuracy, although that one is a lot closer with only about a 7% difference in them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. I'm stuck on the eliminations right there. Almost a 300 elimination difference in that series. Honestly, just wonderful plays there out of Shenandoah. Accuracy, pretty much everything else pretty similar besides final hits, obviously, and assists. And everything else that matters the most, some might say. But we're going to go ahead and take a look at the MVPs from either squad tonight. And look right there, you can see where a lot of the eliminations came from for Shenandoah, and that is from Robot Ninja, sitting at 155 eliminations and only 36 deaths across 5 maps.
And I mean, just looking further into more, we have 67 final hits. What a number.
You did not just do that. Oh my God. Our producer just yelled 6-7 in our ears. That was, we are only professional here at Shenandoah University, and that's why we're about to have a professional interview with the one, the only Robot Ninja. How are you feeling after that playoff win?
I'm feeling incredible. Seeing 155 eliminations.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I talked about it before. I don't want to like pull your ego up too much, but at a certain point, you just got to let it fly, you know?
Yeah.
Just a just a question. I can hear production room laughing back there. It's kind of distracting me a second. Just to start going into the playoffs, like we unfortunately weren't able to get any of your matches throughout the regular season on stream. What is this season overall? I want to ask a little bit about that. What is the season overall meant to you, and how have you changed? How have you guys changed as a team over the course of it?
Well, I mean, it's definitely had its ups and downs. I mean, we're the newest team here at SU, but I think it has a lot more pros because the synergy has increased as we've been a team over the season, both this semester and last semester, and just seeing the unity and how the team is starting to work together more compared to when we started has just been probably the highlight for me.
Yeah, and let's go ahead and talk about the playoff win right there. If you can remind me real quick, did you guys make playoffs last semester?
We did, and I believe, if I remember correctly, we made it into where we're headed next week.
Okay.
But it's still up in the air. I know, and the way it's seeded, what we took on was effectively our counterparts from the other side of our bracket.
Yeah, I have the stats right here. You guys came in as the 4th seed, and Illinois State came in as the 5th seed. You guys ended as 2nd place in your division, and Illinois State came in as out of 3rd place in their own division. So pretty similar, and as it showed going map 5. How do you, when it comes to a game like Marvel Rivals, where so much is happening all the time, and you have to take into account all these character exchanges and all of the meta changes all the time, and players just changing characters on a whim. What are the main focuses for a team as you go over the course of like a 5-map series?
Yeah. Our main focus, you may have seen it, is when we were burning one person. That's our target focus, is mainly what we are trying to see, because like you're saying, it's a chaotic game. So if you're not focusing one person with your team, there's a high chance everyone's going to stay alive a lot more. But then our team has also worked on figuring out the win con in a comp. What is the reason that this strategy is going to work? How do we change that, or how do we remove it from the other team?
Yeah, and I think you guys did a great job. Like, if that was your objective, the bans towards the last few maps and the protects, I think did a great job, especially when you started banning Groot. I think really helped you guys. Is there any questions? I don't want to be the only one yapping here. You have any questions?
I would say, what was kind of going through your head, especially when in this final match and some of the final games leading up to it, switching to that Bucky instead of staying on the Moon Knight that you played previously?
Yeah, I mean, Moon Knight, he's a guy. Khonshu, he and I are homies, I'm going to be honest. But with Bucky, it was more when you see like the triple support line that is coming at you, you've got to have someone who can deal a lot of damage and quickly. And although Moon Knight can deal a lot of damage, triple support tends to stop him from doing that. Whereas we saw when Bucky does what I call the crash out, you can't really do too much there about that meter getting burned.
And going into this now, last question at least about the playoffs specifically. You mentioned that last season you guys got to round 2 of the playoffs, and I believe you fell there. But now, what is the team mentality different? What are your guys' focuses? What are your guys' thoughts on just heading into round 2 of the playoffs?
Definitely focus on trying to get that win, make it farther than we did last semester. We ended up in about what would be 3rd place or so, but this semester we really pushing for that win. And I mean, especially next week, we are facing off who I believe is the team that is seeded number 1 on our side of the division. But we also know it's a team that we've seen before in last semester's season.
Yeah, and we take a look at the bracket real quick right now. Yeah, it's going to be University of Illinois Springfield, which I did a little bit of research on before this. Shout out being a recap show. And they ended their regular season 7-0. They have not lost a series yet, and obviously they're in the second round, so they won their first playoff game against Drexel 3-0, and now you guys are going to be facing up against them. I would ask about strategies, but that's a bad call. Why am I going to ask about strategies? Don't do that. I caught myself. Are there any final questions that you have here?
I mean, I guess I already kind of talked about that Bucky switch, but, when it came down to deciding exactly when you needed the team to kind of look at one person, what kind of is the way you go about that? Like, how do you, as the person who is securing all of those eliminations, figure out who needs to go in that moment?
Well, for that, I tell my team, give me a target. I'll find them. They're not going to make it too much longer after that. So
that's a Bucky response. That is like something you'd expect out of someone that plays Bucky.
Yeah,
and I respect it because that's having that mentality is how you see what we saw right there with 155 eliminations. Absolutely insane there.
Yeah, and it kind of carries over all of them.
Yeah.
Star-Lord, you tell me the target, I'm going to find them. I'm a DPS player all the way.
Yeah.
You tell me to find someone, well, I'm going to go on the hunt.
Gonna go on the hunt indeed. Shenandoah going to go on a hunt for a round 2 playoff win next week. But before we cut you off, any shout outs to any person, anything you just want to say in general, any comments you want to make, anything you want to say?
Shout out to my brother X. He is actually the original Bucky player from my household.
Shout out to your brother indeed. Anything you want to say before we end off right here?
I mean, all I can say is I was really excited to, watch some Marvel Rivals and not be the one playing, just be able to kind of sit, watch, cast it, and I've been waiting to do this for a while, so it's been really exciting for the Buzzdown today.
Yeah, finally got Rivals on stream, and it was a good one as they advance to the second round of the NECC Division VI Playoffs next week. But for now, that concludes the 3rd episode of the Buzzdown. Thank you, everyone that showed up to watch. Be sure to follow all SU Esports accounts on social media. We are everywhere: Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, X, everything you could name. We are on there. We'll be back next week. We still have Rocket League and obviously Marvel Rivals left to play in some playoff games. And don't forget, have some fighting games left. You're looking mighty good on those standings right now, looking like you might be able to make land. Excited for you. But for now, from all of us on the Shenandoah Esports team, thank you, goodbye, and good night.
We have the esports arena right here on campus in Winchester, Virginia, and this facility acts as the hub for all esports activity at Shenandoah University. Students are able to use this space not just for competition and practices, but also as a living learning community and a sandbox for them to come and explore and practice and try out things related to and through esports in the gaming industry so that they're getting that hands-on learning and the skills necessary to help them find a career by the time they graduate. We also have the professional level broadcast production booth where we do all of our broadcasting and production, from casting of our games that we play right here on campus to working with outside entities to record footage for them as well. In addition to the space that we have here in the esports arena is the esports war room. Our students get to use that space for studying, but also outside projects. So our students get to use this space for professional development and the academic side of our esports program, which is such a critical component to go with that competitive element that we have. So we combine all of our facilities at Shenandoah University with competition, community, and career preparation. We have over 250 days of programming, and there's something for everybody, and we want you to be part of it.
Shenandoah University is a big little university rising.
With 22 Division III sports teams, over 200 areas of study,
over 300 annual performances, an elite academic esports program,
nationally ranked health professions programs, one of the biggest university presences on Broadway,
immersive AR and VR learning programs,
cybersecurity and computer science programs, and innovative undergrad and graduate programs.
all at a place that cares for you.
Shenandoah University is the big little university rising. Find out more at su.edu/rising.